Chapter 1086. Different servants were looking for desolate stones, but it was very dangerous because those stones were hidden in the depths of the sea. Lin Feng arrived in the center of the island of the 9 dragons and went towards the place where the leader lived. It was a vast city where dragons were worshipped. Dragon statues, carvings and so on were everywhere in the city. There was also a gigantic dragon palace with 9 dragon fortresses. According to legends, each dragon fortress had different usages. Besides, the central one was the one where the leader of the island lived. Lin Feng took out his amulet of the 8 dragon chants and moved towards that palace. It was beautiful, resplendent, magnificent and lofty. It felt good to be near that fortress. There was a calm and peaceful pavilion where a protector was waiting for Lin Feng. He was very polite. After all, Lin Feng had the amulet of the 8 dragon chants. A few people arrived who were wearing fine clothes with dragon ornaments. There was a pale young man who looked cold and detached from the world. "Welcome, little brother." At that moment, the middle-aged man from last time saw Lin Feng and welcomed him. Lin Feng understood that guy probably had a very high status on the island of the 9 dragons. "Thank you, I hope I'm not disturbing," replied Lin Feng. Lin Feng understood that those people respected him because he had ranked first in Tiantai. He was a capable young man. "Little brother, you're a guest here, don't be so polite." "Be my guest, please have a sit," said the middle-aged man very politely. "You're too kind, mister," said Lin Feng politely. The other young man sat down and said to Lin Feng, "You're Lin Feng from Tiantai." "Indeed, I am Lin Feng," replied Lin Feng nodding and asked about the young man, "Who's that?" The young man didn't reply, but the middle-aged replied smiling, "That's Gu Qiu-yun, my nephew." "Gu Qiu-yun, brother, nice to meet you," said Lin Feng smiling and nodding. He had come because he had something to ask, so he had to be very polite. The young man nodded at Lin Feng. He looked expressionless as if he didn't really care about Lin Feng. Lin Feng didn't care either. He said to the middle-aged man, "Mister, I will be straightforward, I came here because I want to ask you something." "You can ask me anything, little brother, if I can help you, I will," replied the middle-aged man politely. "You probably remember last time what happened to Yang Ziyi," said Lin Feng. The young man suddenly looked at Lin Feng in a cold way and said, "You came here for her?" "Be polite," shouted the middle-aged man in a cold way. He then smiled and said, "I remember, of course. Why do you ask? You're not friends with her, right?" "Of course not, we're enemies. However, on the boat where we were, there were some of my friends. I am looking for them," said Lin Feng. He could only be straightforward and honest if he wanted to find them. The middle-aged man remained silent for a few seconds and looked at the young man frowning. "Many people came indeed, but I don't know who your friends are." "Who are they?" "A girl who has a cold chi and she's very beautiful. And 3 other young men, they're all quite strong. One of them has imperial chi, another one looks free and unrestrained and is honest and straightforward, the last one is handsome, white skin and is quite knowledgeable," replied Lin Feng describing Yu, Jun Mo Shi, Huang Fu Long and Yun Fei Yang. The middle-aged man remained silent, he was thinking, and then he replied, "Little brother, wait for me. I'll ask some people to find them. I don't know where they are either." "Thank you for your help, mister," said Lin Feng. He was wondering if Gu Qiu-yun knew something or not, but he couldn't say anything. "Qiu-yun, please stay with Lin Feng. You're both talented young men," said the middle-aged as he left. Gu Qiu-yun looked at Lin Feng and smiled, "The girl you're talking about is called Yu." "Eh?" Lin Feng was surprised. As expected, he knew about his friends. "Indeed, do you know where she is, brother?" asked Lin Feng. Gu Qiu-yun smiled and shook his head, "I don't know." Lin Feng looked skeptical as he asked, "How do you know her name is Yu then?" "She's very beautiful and I like beautiful girls. Therefore, I noticed her and heard one of her friends call her that, so I remembered her name," replied Gu Qiu-yun, playing with his hands. He was smiling. No wonder. You don't know where she is though? Asked Lin Feng again. He felt uncomfortable. I told you I don't you believe me? Asked Gu Qiu-yun. He raised his head, then lowered it again and smiled at Lin Feng. Lin Feng smiled and said, I believe you, of course. At that moment, the middle-aged man came back with another man. Lin Feng had already seen him. It was one of the Zun cultivators who had attacked the boat. He remembered Lin Feng and he looked at him in a cold way. Lin Feng had rescued the crowd using his empty space illusion and had then escaped diving into the Huang Sea. Therefore, he remembered Lin Feng clearly. You survived in the Huang Sea, said the Zun cultivator. He was fixedly staring at Lin Feng as if he had wanted to know his secret, how he had survived in the Huang Sea exactly. Little brother, he captured everyone last time, you can ask him. Lin Feng looked at him, and when he was about to talk, the man spoke first. Your friends left the island of the 9 dragons. I didn't hurt them. They went to Ba Huang province. Lin Feng remained silent, but was angry. First Gu Qiu-yun and now that old man. He understood that he would learn nothing there. If you and the others had really left, they would have applied to become imperial cultivation disciples. Even if they had missed the recruitment process, they would have gone to Tiantai to find Lin Feng. They were lying. I see, thank you. I'm off now, said Lin Feng, standing up and waving at the middle-aged man. Why are you so impatient? We're about to have a banquet, don't you want to join us? Said Gu Qiu-yun, smiling. Lin Feng looked around. There were many people, some of them were incredibly strong. They all had stones in their hands which seemed like they weighed 1,000 kilos. Desolate stones. All those stones were black and contained desolate qi. The sun's reflection on those stones looked strange. The shapes of those stones were all different as well as the energies inside too. In any case, they were all gigantic, seemed like they contained incredible secrets. They're all incredible desolate stones, do they really contain incredible secrets? Lin Feng was surprised. He didn't leave immediately. He was worried about you and the others, but leaving now was useless. He maybe had some chances to find hints on their whereabouts on the island too. Chapter 1087, Emperor's corporeal body. Many people moved towards a wide public square. There were many Zun and Tian level cultivators. Lin Feng saw Xian Yuan, Yang Zilan and Yang Ziyi in the crowd. They had all come because of the desolate stones. The crowd was looking at the stones enviously. The pirates of the island of the 9 dragons had said they wanted to sell desolate stones. There were many treasures in the Huang Sea. Desolate stones were one sort of treasures which could be found in the depths of the sea. Each time they sold desolate stones, they could get incredible treasures in return. Therefore, they usually called extremely strong cultivators. They could exchange desolate stones for incredible treasures. Usually, only Zun-level cultivators and people from rich families had incredible treasures. 9 stones. This time, the island of the 9 dragons is selling 9 stones, and one of them is very strange. It contains a human form. The crowd was looking at those stones and especially a particular one. The Huang Sea used to be a battlefield thousands of years ago. There were many corpses in the depths of the Huang Sea, including the corpses of very strong cultivators. There were even emperors' corpses in the depths of the Huang Sea. If a stone contained the corpse of an emperor, it could help cultivators a lot. Those stones could be used to fabricate weapons, pills, or even to improve one's cultivation. In any case, they were very useful. Many people were talking and Lin Feng learnt many things. He didn't know that emperors' corpses could have so many uses. Lin Feng had the corpse of an emperor, but it was different. I have the Jade Emperor's corpse as well as many of his treasures, but I've never used them. I need to cherish them, thought Lin Feng. How could he forget he had such a treasure already? Maybe he could go inside with Cheong Chi. Xiong Qi knew lots of things. At that moment, the middle-aged man with the talisman walked to the center and said to the crowd, "We made great efforts to find and take out those 9 stones from the depths of the Huang Sea. They contain incredible treasures and secrets. Of course, they are expensive. The first items we will sell is a turtle fossil. The initial price is 500 abstruse crystals." 500 abstruse crystals, how expensive, thought the crowd. Nobody knew what those stones could contain, but nobody could open them before buying them. It was like gambling. If it contained precious treasures, it was worth it, but those stones could contain nothing just as well. 550 abstruse crystals, shouted someone. It was a young man. He was probably from a rich family. 580. 600, said the young man. In the end, someone got it for 800 abstruse crystals. It was already very expensive, especially seeing how it might contain nothing. "Break it and look inside," said the middle-aged man, smiling. "Why not?" said the young man, smiling. He was curious too. Even though the island of the 9 dragons was inhabited by pirates, it was safe during auctions. Otherwise, nobody would come. The middle-aged man turned around, a light appeared in his hand as he broke the stone in 2. A blue color appeared as well as some marks inside. "Don't tell me he could make a holy sword with that," thought the crowd. There was something inside, it immediately rose up in the air. "It's living," the crowd was astonished. There was something alive in the first stone. "Where are you going?" shouted the middle-aged man furiously as he released some strength to capture the living creature. He then grabbed it with his hand. A Xian-level turtle. "It contains a turtle," the crowd was incredulous. A Xian-level turtle. That turtle has been living in the Huang Sea for a very long time. It must be very, very strong. Its shell seems incredibly solid. He can use it to fabricate a shield. The turtle could also increase his life expectancy. That little boy is lucky. That kind of turtle is priceless. The crowd was envious. The first stone was great. The young man looked extremely happy and smiled. A Zun cultivator behind him took it. "I'd like to buy it for 2,000 abstruse crystals, do you accept?" asked a Zun cultivator. It could increase his life expectancy, how great would that be? "Sorry, it's not enough," said the young man, smiling indifferently. The Zun cultivator didn't say anything. He was thinking. He knew that 2,000 was too low, but that's all he had. He should have bid higher. "Hee, the next stone starts at 1,000 abstruse crystals," said the middle-aged man. How expensive, thought the crowd. The stone looked ordinary. He was increasing the price because the first buyer had been lucky. "All those stones were taken from the same place, so maybe they all had treasures," said the middle-aged man, trying to convince the crowd. A Zun cultivator proposed 2,000 for it, but there was nothing inside. The crowd was astonished. How sad. The man had wasted 2,000 abstruse crystals. But there was no way to know what there was inside those stones. It was a gamble. Lin Feng was wondering if he should go to the Huang Sea as well to get some stones and sell them. That was a very profitable business. He could easily get some stones, since he didn't fear the desolate qi of the Huang Sea. The next stones were all sold for a high price, but each of them contained nothing. The buyers were very disappointed. There were only 3 stones left. 3,000 for this one. The middle-aged man didn't say much about the stone. There was a human shape inside. People were already captivated by that stone. He didn't need to take efforts to convince the crowd. 3,500, said Yang Zilan. Lin Feng was surprised. Isn't that Yang Zilan? His sister was captured by the pirates and they still dared come here, thought several people in the crowd. However, they didn't dare say anything out loud. He's daring, they thought. Some people bid higher, but in the end, Yang Zilan got it for 8,000 abstruse crystals. It was a very high price, but for Yang Zilan, that kind of stone was precious. He needed the corpse inside to make his blood stronger. Coupled with his particular blood, he would become much, much stronger. "Open it," said Yang Zilan after giving the abstruse crystals. "All right," the middle-aged man nodded and broke the stone into two. There's hair," the crowd was astonished. The corpse was perfectly fossilized and wasn't rotten at all. The middle-aged man continued breaking the stone. Maybe it wasn't a mere fossil, maybe it was a perfectly conserved body. The skin is still there too, it has flesh too, the crowd was astonished. How could a corpse not rot in the Huangxi? It might be the corpse of an emperor. It was in perfect condition. Yang Zilan looked nervous, his heart was racing. He felt extremely lucky this time. Many people would want to steal it. Hair, eyes, nose, there's everything, the crowd was astonished. Lin Feng suddenly stood up, he was astonished too. Dazzling light suddenly appeared through the stone. It wasn't a corpse, it was an actual person. Chapter 1088, Ancient Ruins, how's that possible? Someone was living inside a stone, the crowd shivered. How was that possible? Boom boom, the stone broke, the person's hair was fluttering in the wind as he glanced at the crowd coldly. He's alive. The person directly ran to Gu Qiu-yun who was inside the pavilion. You're still alive, said Gu Qiu-yun. How was that possible? He had buried that person himself. Huang Fu Long. Lin Feng was astonished. That person was Huang Fu Long. Huang Fu Long saw Lin Feng, but just glanced at him as if he didn't know him. Lin Feng, when we were captured, he buried us in the sea, just act as if we didn't know each other, said Huang Fu Long to Lin Feng using telepathy. Huang Fu Long knew how strong the pirates were, he didn't want Lin Feng to get involved. Die, shouted Huang Fu Long furiously. Dragon Chi dashed to the skies and a gigantic dragon axe roared furiously. Gu Qiu-yun moved backwards. What was going on? Huang Fu Long had become so strong. He should have died instead. Try and dare, shouted an old man who appeared behind Gu Qiu-yun and blocked Huang Fu Long's axe. Roar, boom boom. Dragon Chi dashed to the skies. The old man behind Gu Qiu-yun punched the dragon energies again and broke them. Huang Fu Long rose up in the air and tried to run away. You think you can leave? Many people rose up in the air to chase him. Yang Zilan told the strong cultivators who were with him, you capture him. He couldn't have spent so many crystals for nothing. He had to get that dragon axe. Die. Huang Fu Long turned around and released another dragon axe attack. The dragon looked furious as it threw itself at Huang Fu Long's opponent. How strong! What happened to him in the Huangxi, thought Lin Feng. Huang Fu Long had become very strong, at least a lot stronger than before. However, many strong cultivators were attacking Huang Fu Long and they were all Zun cultivators. Even Huang Fu Long couldn't do much against them. Lin Feng looked at Gu Qiu-yun coldly. What's wrong? Said Gu Qiu-yun as he released energies at Lin Feng. I'll kill you. Lin Feng rose up in the air and jumped into his boat, then he moved towards Huang Fu Long. Kill him, together, said Gu Qiu-yun coldly. He was scared of Lin Feng, a cultivator of the fourth Tian Qi layer. Lin Feng arrived in front of Huang Fu Long and shouted, come aboard. Huang Fu Long jumped onto the boat and they moved away. Piss off, shouted Lin Feng attacking the people who were blocking their way with his Tian Ji sword. His boat was extremely fast. Empty space bestial illusion technique, said Lin Feng. A snowy tunnel appeared. The strong cultivators behind attacked his illusions making it shake. It started cracking too. However, they were already far as the boat was way too fast. Chase them, the strong cultivators continued chasing them, but ordinary Zun cultivators weren't fast enough. They stopped at the edge of the island, but the boat had already disappeared. They were gone. The strong cultivators were pissed off. They hadn't managed to take the axe, a holy weapon. The one who was the most annoyed was Yang Zilan though. He had wasted abstruse crystals for nothing. Lin Feng and Huang Fulong arrived above the sea. Lin Feng looked very serious. He asked, "What about you and the others?" Huang Fulong's mouth twitched. He wanted to say something, but didn't know how to say it. Gu Qiuyun was interested in Yu, but she refused. "He put us in stones and buried us alive in the sea," said Huang Fulong. Lin Feng's face turned deathly pale. They couldn't have survived the Huang Sea. Gu Qiuyun. Lin Feng was furious and sad as he said, "Huang Fulong, you survived, so they could have survived too, right?" Lin Feng still had hope. "I hope so," said Huang Fulong. "We were buried in antique ruins, but I found a skeleton which has been living there for millions of years and helped me survive." Antique ruins. Lin Feng had heard about those ruins in the Huang Sea. "Since it was a skeleton, why do you say it was alive?" asked Lin Feng. "His godly awareness hasn't dispersed. He sealed me in a stone. He was very, very strong. Then, the pirates found my stone." "I see," whispered Lin Feng frowning. He felt desperate. "Lin Feng, maybe they also met strong cultivators like me. The sea is so deep, there are probably many very strong cultivators inside, not just one," said Huang Fulong trying to cheer Lin Feng up. Lin Feng remained silent for a few seconds and said, "Take the boat and go to Ba Huang province. I'm going back to the island of the 9 dragons." "No, you can't go back," said Huang Fulong. "Don't worry, I won't take any risks," said Lin Feng changing his face. "Here is where you should go on the map," said Lin Feng transmitting the geographical coordinates of Ba Huang to Huang Fulong. Bzzz, a dazzling light appeared as silver wings sprouted from Lin Feng's back. Shadow. Lin Feng suddenly turned into a shadow and left. "Go to Ba Huang province and wait for me in Tiantai. I'm going to the island of the 9 dragons to kill some people and I will be back soon." Huang Fulong heard Lin Feng, but couldn't see him anymore. He was surprised. "Lin Feng has become a lot stronger it seems," whispered Huang Fulong. Lin Feng wasn't afraid of crossing the Huang Sea alone. Huang Fulong established a connection to the boat and left for Ba Huang province. However, Lin Feng went back to the island of the 9 dragons. This time, he landed without releasing any chi. 2 more stones were still being sold. He was wondering if Yu and the others could have been sealed inside them. Because of the interruption, the auctions had been paused for a while and had now resumed. Lin Feng was in the crowd this time, though. Yang Zilan looked extremely pissed off. He had lost so many abstruse crystals. He had bought a stone with a living being and Lin Feng had helped that person escape. Lin Feng again. Lin Feng had already done so much against him. He really wanted to kill Lin Feng. Chapter 1089, Ferocious Wild Beast. The 8th stone was as big as 3 people. There were marks inside and it contained an incredible chi. "There's a holy weapon inside," thought the crowd. That chi was incredible, but it was deadly as it came from the Huang Sea. Even the stone couldn't constrict the chi inside. The crowd guessed that the only possibility was that that stone contained a weapon. On top of that, a holy weapon. The 2 last stones seemed incredible. Apart from that stone with a special chi, the last stone also seemed extraordinary. The crowd had the impression there was a ferocious beast sealed inside. Many people had come, especially for those 2 stones. "That stone starts at 6,000 abstruse crystals," said the middle-aged man smiling indifferently. The crowd gulped down. How expensive. No wonder they were becoming so rich. They sent their servants to find desolate stones and people who came to buy them were gamblers. They were real pirates. I need to get that one, said Xian Yuan. His holy weapon had broken. Therefore, he needed a new one. He had come to the island of the 9 dragons to try his luck and see if he could get a holy weapon. That stone possibly contained a holy weapon. Xian Yuan, brother, I'll help you, said Yang Zilan. 8,000. The Yang clan wanted to help Xian Yuan. If he became strong, he would be able to marry Yang Ziyi. That bastard, he immediately raised it by 2,000, thought the crowd. 10,000, said someone. The crowd was surprised. It was a young man with the purple eyes. 15,000, said Yang Zilan. Many people grinded their teeth. 15,000 was already a lot more expensive than an ordinary holy weapon. Those prestigious families were really rich. The young man with purple eyes didn't say anything else. 15,000 already exceeded the price of a low-level holy weapon. First, the stone didn't necessarily contain a holy weapon. Second, even if it did, the price was probably still too high. 18,000, said someone indifferently. The crowd was surprised and looked at the person who raised. It was a young man with white hair. His chi wasn't powerful, but the price he proposed was extremely high, so it meant his social status was very high. Nobody dared cheat the pirates. If he didn't have that many abstruse crystals, the pirates would kill him where he stood. It was Lin Feng, of course. He wouldn't let them get that stone for a low price. 20,000, said Yang Zilan coldly. Hee, you don't recognize me, thought Lin Feng. He said indifferently, 25,000. The crowd was speechless. What a high price. Besides, Lin Feng had said that without frowning. Do you even have that much, sir, said Yang Zilan coldly. Mr. Yang, if you give up, you'll see if I have that much, said Lin Feng indifferently. Yang Zilan was surprised. That person recognized him. 26,000, said Yang Zilan. 29,000, said Lin Feng glancing at Yang Ziyi. My clan gave me holy weapons, but I need another one, maybe there's one in that stone. I hope the Yang clan will let me buy that one. They're all from rich families, thought the crowd. 30,000, said Yang Zilan grinding his teeth. That was all he had. When Lin Feng saw Yang Zilan's facial expression, he smiled and said, no wonder that you're famous. 30,000, that's my limit too. Since you already proposed so much, it's yours. Yang Zilan gulped down. At least he had the stone, but because of that guy, he was going to lose too much. Yang Zilan walked forwards and threw a ring at the middle-aged man and said, 100 abstruse crystals of average quality, that's worth the price. Abstruse crystals were also divided into 3 categories, low, average and high quality. Their value was also different. The higher the quality, the higher the price. All right, I'll open it then, said the middle-aged man smiling happily. 30,000 abstruse crystals. That would be great for the pirates. Yang Zilan moved back. The middle-aged man hit the stone to break it, but not too hard in order to avoid breaking its content. The chi was becoming even more intense. Is there a weapon inside? Thought the crowd nervously. There had to be something inside. The middle-aged man looked even more nervous. Bzzz. The stone broke and finally, its content appeared. A weapon, it really contains a weapon, thought the crowd astonished as chi dashed to the skies. It was a very powerful chi. The middle-aged man finished breaking the last pieces of stone. The chi emerging from the stone was gray and thick. It was a spear. What a scary weapon. I got something. Yang Zilan was happy. It was better than having obtained a low-level holy weapon. Xian Yuan grabbed it. It was much better than his old weapon, it suited him perfectly. Nobody could stop him with that thing. Brother Yang, give it to me, said Xian Yuan. Yang Zilan's mouth twitched. He didn't want to give it to Xian Yuan, but he thought about his family, smiled and said, "Of course, it's yours, brother." "Nah, not now actually. Wait, I'll go back to my clan and get the abstruse crystals, then I'll come back to your family and ask for your sister's hand," said Xian Yuan indifferently. He knew why Yang Zilan accepted to give it to him. He hoped the Yang clan would become strong if they mixed with the Xian Yuan clan. "Alright. No problem," said Yang Zilan smiling. He knew that that kind of weapon could help solve some issues. Yang Ziyi smiled in a resplendent smile. She was impatient to get married with Xian Yuan. Unfortunately, she was so beautiful, but not so smart. At that moment, she could predict that she would regret everything she had done to Lin Feng. Bzzz, the middle-aged man was holding the stone in his hand and his clothes were suddenly torn apart. His hair was fluttering in the wind. The qi of the stone was too powerful. It contained the qi of an extremely strong cultivator who had participated in the Great Wars. "Miss Yang, be careful," said the middle-aged man smiling. He put the spear in a ring and gave it to Yang Zilan. "Thank you, mister," said Yang Zilan nodding. At that moment, Lin Feng looked at him coldly and smiled on the inside. "Yang Zilan, you better not give me any chance to steal your weapon." Lin Feng wouldn't mind killing him and stealing his treasures. He was going to let him off now, and if he could, he would steal his spear too. Chapter 1090, Abstruse Crystals. Yang Zilan took the spear. There was still one more stone to be sold. It looked like an ordinary stone, but people had a strange sensation when they looked at it. According to legends, inside it is something which has been sealed and it hasn't died yet. It could be a terrifying animal, thought the crowd. The middle-aged man smiled and said, "Maybe there's a living being inside. If that's the case, one of our strong cultivators will seal it inside and prevent it from fleeing." "How expensive?" 10,000, the crowd was dumbstruck when they saw the price. Not many people were interested. You saw the last stone, it contained a holy weapon and its qi was incredibly powerful. This stone comes from the same place and it might contain something just as terrifying. Maybe it even contains a spirit, or a terrifying ancient animal. If that's the case, then 10,000 would be nothing, a terrifyingly strong beast would be worth 100,000 abstruse crystals, said the middle-aged man trying to convince people. 11,000, said someone. It was an old man who seemed to be very strong. 12,000, said Xian Yuan. He had 20,000 with him, coupled with Yang Zilan's 20,000, he could exchange the stone directly. 13,000, said the young man with purple eyes. 15,000, said the old man. The crowd was surprised and captivated. Everybody kept raising up until it hit 20,000, but then it stopped. It didn't seem to attract people's attention as much as the last one. If Lin Feng hadn't raised it for the last one, the price wouldn't have gone so high. 21,000, said Lin Feng indifferently. His eyes were closed. He was using his godly awareness to observe the surroundings. He looked indifferent as if he had had an infinite amount of abstruse crystals. He has only broken through to the 4th Tian Qi layer and he already has so many abstruse crystals. If there's something inside, a rich kid is going to get it, thought the crowd angrily. Lin Feng was doing that on purpose, he was pretending to act like a rich kid. Lin Feng was pretending so he was happy that people believed him. Of course, he also knew that someone was going to raise again so he wasn't too worried. One abstruse crystal of high quality, said someone at that moment sounding indifferent. An abstruse crystal of high quality? Such crystals were extremely precious. However, one such crystal was only worth 10,000 ordinary crystals. The crowd looked at that person, it was a beautiful girl. She was so beautiful, her body was perfect, but she was wearing black clothes. Men were drooling in front of her. However, she also looked enigmatic and people didn't know what she was thinking. In any case, she looked really hot. Miss, one abstruse crystal of high quality isn't worth 20,000 ordinary crystals, said the middle-aged man smiling. What if it contains a life, said the girl very clearly. The crowd was astonished. Such crystals were incredibly expensive. People always used ordinary abstruse crystals to pay, but special crystals with a special strength also existed and they were extremely expensive. With such crystals, cultivators could become stronger with incredible speeds. Their understanding capabilities could also improve a lot faster. It was a real treasure. Many old people only dreamt of having such crystals. If you really have such a crystal, we don't need to continue, that stone is yours, said the middle-aged man. Take it, said the girl throwing an abstruse crystal at the middle-aged man. He grabbed it quickly and put it away so that nobody could see it. Should I break the stone? Asked the middle-aged man to the girl. Everybody sighed. They didn't need to be skeptical, that girl really had such precious crystals. Who is she? She's so beautiful and rich. She looks bestial even, thought the crowd. Was she an empress or an emperor's daughter? They had heard an empress' daughter was going to appear, was she this person? It was impossible though. A holy woman had to look holy and celestial. That girl didn't, she looked like a tease, she just looked hot. No. I will do it myself, said the girl shaking her head. The middle-aged man didn't force her. He had obtained a precious crystal, that was enough. He was satisfied. After the girl took the stone, she put it away and left. Many people looked at her, men were drooling. That girl must be a beast, but she is quite strong. Otherwise, she couldn't have a Zun-level beast as a protector, thought Lin Feng. He had paid attention to her the entire time. She hadn't reacted until the last stone was proposed. She had come for that stone and didn't care about the price. All right, we're done, said the middle-aged man. Everybody dispersed and started leaving. At that moment, Lin Feng walked towards Gu Qiuyun. Gu Qiuyun didn't need to protect himself against a cultivator of the 4th Tian Qi layer. Nobody dared attack him there anyways. I've always dreamt of meeting you. I hope you can offer me visit sometime, Brother Gu, said Lin Feng smiling without releasing any special qi. Where do you come from? Everybody had seen Lin Feng during the auctions, Gu Qiuyun too. Lin Feng was from a rich and prestigious family, therefore, Gu Qiuyun didn't act too arrogantly either. I am from the mountains in the northern part of Ba Huang. I am so happy to see you today. I don't have many treasures with me today, but here, for you, brother. Lin Feng said, taking out a stone and giving it to Gu Qiuyun. Gu Qiuyun took it and looked at it, a demon seal stone. He looked surprised. It really was a demon seal stone. He didn't show how happy he was, but such a gift was already not bad. The whole stone, in the antiquity, could seal a real demon. But now it was broken. Brother, thank you for your gift, it is way too precious, said Gu Qiuyun. It's nothing for me. I have a few. So, don't mention it. Said Lin Feng smiling nicely as if he didn't care about demon seal stones. A few more pieces appeared in his hands. He's rich, thought Gu Qiuyun before saying, come, please sit, brother. Lin Feng sat down and said, unfortunately, I had a few dozens of thousands of abstruse crystals, but I bought something else. Unfortunately, I didn't know the pirates would sell such expensive things today. I really wanted to buy something. Gu Qiuyun looked at Lin Feng enviously. He was an emperor's descendant and had never had so many abstruse crystals himself. What did you want to buy, brother? Asked Gu Qiuyun. The spear, I loved it. I wanted to make a holy weapon back in my clan, said Lin Feng sounding dispirited. Gu Qiuyun was astonished. Lin Feng wanted to use such an incredible spear to fabricate another weapon. Didn't he care about holy weapons? I'll invite you here again, said Gu Qiuyun. He hoped to see Lin Feng again. This time, I came out secretly. My grandpa forced me to practice cultivation all the time. This time, he'll probably make me practice for a few dozen more years when I go back. I'm so angry, brother. He'll tear my flesh and muscles if he continues forcing me to practice like that, said Lin Feng sighing. Was his grandfather so strong? Chapter 1091, Killed by Yang Zilan. Gu Qiuyun smiled unnaturally and his mouth twitched. He actually wanted to be friends with Lin Feng. Lin Feng had demon seal stones, so he was probably from an imperial family. If he made friends with Lin Feng, he would probably obtain even greater gifts. Brother Gu, I have a question, said Lin Feng suddenly. Gu Qiuyun put his hand on his heart and guaranteed, brother, you can tell me anything. I'll do my best to help. I'm really interested in that spear. I need it to build a weapon. Can you try to get it from that member of the Yang clan so that I can have it, said Lin Feng. Gu Qiuyun looked upset. The pirates of the Island of the Nine Dragons never annoyed people who bought things at their auctions, they always let them go safely so their reputation remained safe. Don't worry, brother Gu. I don't mean I want you to harm him, I know they are your guests. If he isn't willing to hand it over, having a look at it would already fulfill my wishes, said Lin Feng smiling as if he understood that Gu Qiuyun didn't want to make things difficult for their guests. Gu Qiuyun stared at Lin Feng, thinking. If he guaranteed Yang Zilan's safety, there was no reason for him to refuse such a request. All right. Since you're now my good friend, I'll help you, said Gu Qiuyun nodding. He walked away and talked to someone. Then, he came back and talked to Lin Feng honestly and freely as if they had been friends for a long time. After a short time, Yang Zilan and the others came back. They were angry at Gu Qiuyun this time. Last time, they had wanted to kidnap Yang Ziyi, the Yang clan hadn't forgotten about that yet. However, on the island of the Nine Dragons, they couldn't afford acting carelessly so they were now polite and smiling. Brother Gu, you were looking for me. How may I help you? Asked Yang Zilan. He was worried, but he wasn't showing it. Instead, he was smiling in a warm and gentle way as if they had been friends for a very long time. It's nothing important, I just have a brother, Brother Feng, who's interested in your spear. I was wondering if you were willing to. The brother he was talking about was Lin Feng, obviously. Yang Zilan looked at Lin Feng and noticed his cultivation level wasn't high, but since Gu Qiuyun had called him because of Brother Feng, it meant that Lin Feng's social status was, at least, as high as Gu Qiuyun's. I'm sorry, I already gave that holy weapon to Xian Yuan. I hope your brother won't be too disappointed, said Yang Zilan politely. Indeed, that's mine now, said Xian Yuan indifferently and proudly. Lin Feng looked at him and smiled on the inside. Xian Yuan still sounded proud and arrogant. Being chased by Yuan Fei wasn't enough it seemed. Xian Yuan. Gu Qiuyun recognized that name. Indeed, said Xian Yuan indifferently. Gu Qiuyun looked at Lin Feng in a way which meant that getting the spear would be impossible. Well, can you at least let him look at it closely, said Gu Qiuyun. He was still trying to make friends with Lin Feng. Yang Zilan remained silent for a second and then smiled. The pirates of the Island of the Nine Dragons organized the auction, so I'm sure showing it wouldn't be a problem. He was convinced the pirates of the Island of the Nine Dragons wouldn't dare steal something they had sold themselves. Yang Zilan was seemingly getting ready to show the spear, but Lin Feng shook his hand and said, Wait. Brother Feng, do you have another request? Asked Yang Zilan. No, said Lin Feng shaking his head and smiling, I also have a holy weapon, it's extremely powerful and has an explosive power. However, I don't like it too much. If you like it, maybe we can trade our weapons. Oh. Yang Zilan seemed interested. Lin Feng surprisingly had holy weapons he wanted to trade. Gu Qiuyun's eyes twinkled. He also wanted to see Lin Feng's weapon and how powerful it was. Show it to me, said Yang Zilan. He couldn't refuse, of course. But many people harbor evil intentions. If we trade weapons, we must do it somewhere where there's less eye on us. Where then? Asked Gu Qiu-yun, who was even more interested too. We should go to a place on the edge of the Huang Sea. That way, if Brother Yang and the others are not interested, you can directly leave. Nobody will say the island of the 9 dragons kept you here, said Lin Feng to make Gu Qiu-yun and Yang Zilan. Of course, Yang Zilan was interested. I never doubted Brother Gu's intentions. Since you want to go to such a place, I have no objections. Brother Gu can bring a few strong cultivators along as well. It seems like you still feel defensive, said Lin Feng with a resplendent smile. Gu Qiu-yun groaned coldly. Yang Zilan surprisingly wanted him to bring strong cultivators. Ridiculous. No need. Brother Feng and I are enough, said Gu Qiu-yun looking unhappy. Master, said a strong cultivator at that moment. Brother Gu, since there are tensions between the Yang clan and the island of the 9 dragons, even if I trust Brother Yang, I still think it's best to bring a few strong cultivators, said Lin Feng. He mentioned their internal tensions on purpose. Indeed, Master, said a strong cultivator behind Gu Qiu-yun. Yang Zilan also brought 2 strong cultivators. I said no need, said Gu Qiu-yun. He didn't like being forced to do anything. He looked at Lin Feng and said, Brother Feng, I don't think anything can happen to me on the island of the 9 dragons. If anyone dares attack me, the pirates would immediately destroy the Yang clan. Lin Feng shrugged indifferently. Concerning Lin Feng, they didn't even attach importance to him. A cultivator of the 4th Tian Qi layer couldn't do anything to them even if he wanted to. Therefore, they didn't think about protecting Gu Qiu-yun against Lin Feng. They all walked towards the sea and arrived on a beach where nobody else was. Lin Feng said he had a very powerful weapon, so Gu Qiu-yun chose a good place to look at it. Brother Gu, let's go on the sea, what do you think, suggested Lin Feng. Alright, enjoying holy weapons on the sea, how pleasant. A smile appeared on Gu Qiu-yun's pale face. Gu Qiu-yun had broken through to the 6th Tian Qi layer. He released some qi and walked on the sea as if the desolate qi didn't affect him. Lin Feng followed. Brother Yang, show us your spear. Alright, said Yang Zilan. Suddenly, a monstrously powerful qi invaded the atmosphere and emitted whistling and howling sounds. What a powerful spear, said Lin Feng happily. Gu Qiu-yun wished he could steal it. Brother Feng, show us your weapon too. Alright, said Lin Feng nodding and smiling, but he didn't move too fast. He waited for the qi of the spear to disperse. Brother Gu, come here, said Lin Feng waving. Gu Qiu-yun didn't understand what Lin Feng meant, but he still approached Lin Feng. At that moment, Lin Feng put a hand on Gu Qiu-yun's back and smiled evilly. Both Gu Qiu-yun and Yang Zilan were surprised. Brother Yang, you're really cruel. We only saw your weapon for a second. Surprisingly, you want to kill us. After killing us, do you think the island of the 9 dragons will let you off, said Lin Feng suddenly. His voice sounded strange. Everybody was surprised by this remark and no one understood what Lin Feng meant. Gu Qiu-yun didn't understand either. Yang Zilan wanted to kill them. But they were still there, alive. At that moment, a terrifying strength crashed onto them. Stop him, shouted 2 old strong cultivators in the distance. However, they didn't have time. Yang Zilan, you're so cruel, killing me and Brother Gu, shouted Lin Feng so that he could be heard kilometers and kilometers away. Gu Qiu-yun and Lin Feng immediately fell down into the Huang Sea. Chapter 1092, Angry Pirates of the Huang Sea. You're insane, said Gu Qiu-yun. He was already pale but now he was even paler. What was Lin Feng doing? Why did he take him into the Huang Sea? Did he want to kill Gu Qiu-yun and himself? Why? He didn't understand. Did Lin Feng want to kill him? Had he given him a demon seal stone because he wanted to kill him from the start? He didn't understand. Besides, was Lin Feng so insane that he was ready to kill himself? Insane? When we were talking before, you were quite proud, said Lin Feng using telepathy. Gu Qiu-yun was suddenly furious. It was him, the cultivator of the fourth Tian Qi layer. Lin Feng had come to avenge Tang Yuyu. He was also the one who had taken Huang Fulong away. Now, he was using a technique to change his face, he had even changed his qi. Splash, they were both falling deeper and deeper in the water. Gu Qiu-yun was glaring at Lin Feng. Don't think I'm going to kill myself just to kill you. The Huang Si can't kill me. Lin Feng looked unaffected, he didn't need to resist the energies to survive in that sea. How come the Huang Si couldn't kill him? Gu Qiu-yun suddenly looked hopeless and desperate. Could he die that way? He was from a rich and powerful family, but his family wouldn't even know who killed him. He was going to die because Tang Yuyu, he regretted. The desolate qi was very powerful, so ordinary Zun cultivators couldn't even survive in the Huang Si. In a short time, Gu Qiu-yun's body dissolved and disappeared. Lin Feng looked ice-cold as he said, "Did you think you'd get my demon seal stones that easily?" The stones didn't dissolve in the sea, so Lin Feng took them back from Gu Qiu-yun's disintegrating body. Nobody could sense Lin Feng's qi, so nobody could know that he was still there, alive. Yang Zilan didn't understand. Why? What for? He didn't understand. That guy named Feng, was he angry at the Yang clan or at the pirates? "Brother, what should we do now?" asked Yang Ziyi. Her face was deathly pale. After what Lin Feng had shouted, many strong cultivators would be coming at them with incredible speed. "We have to explain things clearly, we won't lie. We don't need to be scared because we didn't kill them," said Yang Zilan, scratching his head. He was confused too. "We can't prove anything, we need to leave, young master," said a Zun cultivator, taking out a boat. Those boats were lifeboats like the ones Lin Feng had already stolen. They didn't have many more left by now. "Let's go. We can't explain anything to the pirates, they'll definitely kill us," said Xian Yuan coldly. He jumped onto the boat immediately. "Explain? Explain what? If they said someone had killed him, where was that someone? Besides, how could they explain a cultivator of the fourth Tian Qi layer had killed him? Who would kill themselves like that? Besides, Lin Feng had previously brought up the tensions between the Yang clan and the island of the Nine Dragons, it would be difficult to explain anything now. Besides, there was still some spear qi in the air and Lin Feng had shouted very loudly. The situation was complex. "Bastard!" shouted Yang Zilan furiously. He was furious. He jumped onto the boat, not because he wanted to, but because he had no choice. The boat left and turned into a beam of light. As they left, many strong cultivators arrived, their faces turned deathly pale. Where were they? Had he really died? Who killed my grandson? Who killed my son? The strong cultivators were furious, their voices echoed hundreds of kilometers away. They knew that Gu Qiu-yun was dead because his talisman had broken. He was dead. The Yang clan had killed their grandson. How cruel. He probably wanted that guy's spear, therefore the Yang clan killed him and threw the body in the sea so that we couldn't find him. The Yang clan is so cruel. They had thrown the body into the sea and left with a lifeboat. It had to be that way. Many strong cultivators from the island of the Nine Dragons chased the boat. At the same time, many strong cultivators on the island of the Nine Dragons took to their own boats. For many people, it was the first time they saw so many strong cultivators that furious. Almost all of them were Zun cultivators. Damn Yang Zilan, he actually killed Gu Qiu-yun on the island of the Nine Dragons. What an animal. He's even more stupid than an animal. The Yang clan is doomed now. The pirates will destroy the Yang clan completely. Of course. The pirates wanted to capture Yang Ziyi last time, but it was because they wanted her to become Gu Qiuyun's wife. They wouldn't have harmed her. They would have even protected her. Their methods are just a bit unconventional. That Yang Zilan is too stupid though, he killed Gu Qiuyun and now he's going to pay for it. They couldn't understand how Yang Zilan felt. They couldn't imagine that someone could have planned it out that way. If Lin Feng hadn't died in the Huang Sea, he would have taken him out and killed him himself. The crowd didn't know that Lin Feng had thought out such a plan. Lin Feng used his shadow to emerge from the sea and then he changed his appearance again so that nobody could recognize him. When he saw the pirates leaving on their boats, he felt happy and smiled coldly. And the pirates had harmed his close friends, Yu Yu and the others. They had buried them in the Huang Sea, so Lin Feng could never forgive them. I hope you'll have a great battle. The more tragic it is, the better, whispered Lin Feng as if he had nothing to do with their war. Let's go, the pirates gathering together on boats. Even though the pirates had taken many of their own boats to fight, they left some boats for the guests. Lin Feng was on one of them and they were heading for Ba Huang. Lin Feng had triggered a great war, how could he miss it? Chapter 1093, The Ruins in the Huang Sea. Lin Feng was on one of the pirates' boats. He had heard many things about the tensions between the island of the 9 dragons and the Yang clan. Whether it be the Yang clan's boat or the numerous boats the pirates had taken to go to Ba Huang, they were all faster than the boat Lin Feng was riding. They would arrive in Ba Huang before Lin Feng. When Ba Huang's people saw so many pirates arrive, they instantly believed that something tragic had happened. They soon learnt that the pirates were going to the Yang clan. They also heard that Yang Zilan had obtained a holy weapon at the auctions on the island of the 9 dragons and that tensions had maybe risen between Gu Qiuyun and Yang Zilan because of it. They still hadn't heard all the news, but they supposed that a great war would soon start. Without a faster boat, I probably missed the war already, thought Lin Feng annoyed. He wanted to see that terrifying war. When Lin Feng about more, he decided to go to Tianjing City instead of the Yang clan. Huang Fulong and Lin Feng had agreed to meet there. Lin Feng still wasn't sure if Yu Yu and the others were dead or not. He needed to go to those ruins Huang Fulong had told him about. He didn't fear the desolate qi of the Huang Sea. Many Zun cultivators couldn't even compete with him in that aspect. Once there, he would know if his friends were safe or not. He needed to check, otherwise, he'd constantly be worried. On the way to Tianjing City, Lin Feng heard many people talking about the conflict between the Yang clan and the pirates. As expected, the pirates had gone to the Yang clan's territory, but they didn't let them kill Yang Zilan. The Yang clan cherished Yang Zilan so they protected him. Therefore, a terrible war started and many people died. Many Zun Chi Layer and other extremely strong cultivators fought. The territory of the Yang clan was completely destroyed. Now the pirates wanted to kill the elders and capture Yang Zilan. After a day, Lin Feng heard about the war again. The war still wasn't over. Yang Zilan wanted to take Lin Feng's soul out of the sea to kill him a second time. He would never have the opportunity to prove his innocence. He couldn't come out, otherwise the pirates would kill him. Lin Feng went back to Tianjing City. He found Huang Fulong quickly thanks to the energies left by his boat. Huang Fulong was excited. He had heard that Gu Qiuyun had been killed. He was wanted to kill Gu Qiuyun for so long now. I wish I had killed him with my own hands, said Huang Fulong. You, me, it's all the same, said Lin Feng coldly. Huang Fulong was surprised. He looked at Lin Feng and said, You mean that? Yes, it's me, said Lin Feng nodding. Huang Fulong was happy to hear that. Once in Tianjing City, both of them heard more about the situation with the Yang clan. They heard that the war was finally over and that both sides lost many people. To destroy the Yang clan's territory, the pirates had to pay a steep price. They were almost done destroying the Yang clan when the Xianyuan clan arrived to help. Xianyuan then told them the truth. The pirates knew how strong the Xianyuan clan was. Concerning Xianyuan's truth, the pirates were furious. Was he questioning their intelligence? Why would a cultivator of the 4th Tian Chi layer kill himself along with Gu Qiuyun and accuse the Yang clan? Was that even possible? Did he think the pirates were stupid? That was a terrible excuse. Lin Feng was disappointed. Xianyuan had ruined his plan. However, he knew that the pirates would never forgive them. Even if they believed Xianyuan, they had already fought a great war. Now the situation couldn't be solved so easily. Huang Fu Long, bring me to those ruins, said Lin Feng, taking out a boat. Lin Feng, the pirates could throw us into the sea, and without them, we can't make it, said Huang Fu Long, shaking his head. Bring me there, said Lin Feng. When Huang Fu Long saw Lin Feng's determination, he sighed and said, I guess it would be nice to see what they've become. First, we'll need to go to the island of the 9 dragons. We left from there last time, so I'll remember the way if start from there. Lin Feng didn't say much as they immediately led the boat to the island of the 9 dragons. This time, he didn't inform anyone he was coming. If they saw his boat, he might get into trouble. Lin Feng brought Huang Fu Long to the edge of the island and listened to Huang Fu Long. The boat was neither too slow nor too fast. Huang Fu Long remembered the way approximately, not precisely. One day later, they were still looking for that place. Lin Feng looked extremely worried and scared. Yu Yu and the others had gotten into such trouble because of him. He had made them come with him, he wanted them to become imperial cultivation disciples too. Now, however, he was the only one who had become an imperial cultivation disciple. He didn't even know if his friends were still alive. What a cruel world. Apart from his parents and wives, he also cared a lot about his friends. He hoped his friends would explore the world with him, and now only Huang Fu Long was left. Lin Feng took out a bottle of alcohol. He had many expensive things in his ring, including a few bottles of alcohol. He couldn't help but have a drink at this moment. Back then, we were drinking and singing together. Where are you now? Said Lin Feng, looking at the sky and sighing anxiously. He could still see Yu Yu's beautiful face in the sky, her eyes, her resplendent smile, Jun Mo Shi's classy chi, his golden robe, Yun Fei Yang's messy hair and his gentle smile. You said we'd stay together forever and that we wanted to become stronger in Ba Huang together. Where are you, my friends? Said Lin Feng again. He was getting angry, then sad. You also said we'd go back to the Shuiyu region with our heads held high. Where are you? Lin Feng downed another bottle and lied down on his boat. He didn't look determined like a cultivator anymore, he didn't look like a fighter, he looked sad and depressed. Huang Fu Long's face was red, he was clenching fists as tears appeared in his eyes. Back then, he used to practice cultivation in the snowy mountains of Tianqi. He hoped he'd get married with the holy woman of Tianqi, but after he met Lin Feng, his life changed and he understood what it felt like to have a brother. Chapter 1094, Ancient Dragon Skeleton. They were still looking for the place. A black dot appeared in the distance. Huang Fu Long frowned. Lin Feng, look over there, shouted Huang Fu Long. Lin Feng, who was lying down, suddenly raised his head and stood up. It seemed like they were approaching a hole. The qi emerging from it seemed very ancient even. We arrived, finally, said Huang Fu Long. Where is the place they buried you? Asked Lin Feng, glancing around. There is a dusty island in the middle. We passed there first. Huang Fu Long recognized the place. There were small islands surrounded by the Huang Sea. Huang Fu Long brought Lin Feng to the dusty island. Gigantic waves were crashing onto it at moment. The desolate qi was especially terrifying there. Huang Fulong enveloped himself in golden energies, unlike Lin Feng who didn't need to protect himself. "It seems very calm here," said Lin Feng. "It smelt like death, though. It's terrifying inside." Gu Qiuyun, that bastard, knew it was terrifying here. The desolate qi inside is so powerful. There were many desolate stones though. I was lucky to get stuck in those ruins. I hope you and the others are. Huang Fulong didn't finish his sentence. He had been lucky to survive. Lin Feng slowly walked forwards, turned and said to Huang Fulong, "Huang Fulong, you are connected to the boat again. If in 1 month, I haven't come back, leave here." "Lin Feng, what are you doing?" shouted Huang Fulong jumping forwards. "Don't worry, Huang Fulong. I am not affected by desolate qi. I'm going to have a look inside, that's all," said Lin Feng with a faint smile. "No, impossible, it's too dangerous in there," said Huang Fulong shaking his head. He hadn't thought Lin Feng would go inside. He wouldn't have brought Lin Feng there if he had known that. "Don't worry. I'm strong," said Lin Feng smiling. He jumped forwards and disappeared in the hole. "Lin Feng," shouted Huang Fulong getting closer, but stopped because the desolate qi was too powerful. "You bastard," shouted Huang Fulong trampling on the ground. He wanted to follow Lin Feng, but he couldn't. He would inevitably die in there. The hole was very, very deep. Lin Feng continued going deeper down. 10,000 meters deep in the hole and Lin Feng still couldn't see the end. How did the pirates of the Island of the 9 Dragons make it that deep to find desolate stones? Lin Feng continued going down. Finally, he reached the bottom. It was calm in there, but the desolate qi was terrifying, just as Huang Fulong had said. So many desolate stones. Lin Feng glanced around. There were gigantic stones, medium ones, small ones. Some stones were round, some stones looked like snakes. Lin Feng even saw a stone which looked like a dragon. "I wonder what's inside. I really wish I could break them," thought Lin Feng. He glanced around looking for people, but there was nobody. He only saw stones shaped like humans. Dong! A sound resonated which made Lin Feng shake. It seemed like the cave was going to collapse. What was that sound, thought Lin Feng. What a terrifying sound. Especially given that it made the whole cave shake. Lin Feng slowly turned around and looked at the dragon-shaped stone. It seemed like the sound had come from that gigantic stone. After the sound resonated, the atmosphere became calm again. However, the desolate qi became even more intense. Dong! A sound resonated again. The cave started shaking again. The desolate qi continued crashing onto Lin Feng's body. He could barely stand it. Dong! A third sound resonated. Dong, 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 sounds continued resonating. It was becoming even more terrifying. The qi was also becoming even more intense. It was as if a spirit was coming back to life. Lin Feng's blood started flowing faster too. Those energies were causing his blood to react. "It's making my dragon blood react," thought Lin Feng. He slowly turned around and looked at the dragon-shaped stone again. It was as if an ancient spirit was sealed inside. Could an ancient dragon be sealed inside, thought Lin Feng. His heart started racing. His blood started boiling. Bzzz. Qi suddenly exploded as the stone started cracking. Then, it exploded and its content appeared before Lin Feng's eyes. It was a gigantic skeleton. It was perfectly conserved, especially the head. There were 2 antennas and between them, there was a gigantic scale. It seemed extremely old and yet the desolate qi of the Huangxi hadn't destroyed it. An ancient and terrifying dragon. Lin Feng's mouth twitched. That skeleton was priceless. Lin Feng looked at the body, there was something round and red inside. It seemed like the sounds came from there. It looked like a beating heart. Its heart is still beating. That dragon is just like the Jade Emperor. Lin Feng had used the Jade Emperor's heart to obtain his palace. That dragon was the same, its heart had survived for so long. He could sense its qi. It almost seemed like the dragon wanted to come back to life. Back then, there were great wars in the Huang Sea, so great that even a dragon joined in and died here, thought Lin Feng shivering. That dragon was much larger than the dragon inside the dragon cave the other day. It was probably an imperial beast or a Zun-level beast. Lin Feng didn't understand the different strength levels very well. Otherwise, he would have been able to determine its cultivation level. The desolate qi turned into a vortex. Lin Feng couldn't bear it anymore. He was starting to suffocate. Bzzz, bzzz, the dragon heart still seemed to be beating. At that moment, a dazzling light appeared. Lin Feng didn't know what they were, but they contained an incredible qi. Boom boom. More qi crashed onto Lin Feng's body which made him feel dizzy. Boom. Lin Feng was attacked by the qi again and he was suddenly surrounded by even more dazzling lights. Then suddenly, he disappeared as if he had never been there. Chapter 1095, Small World. Lin Feng realized he wasn't in the Huang Sea anymore. He was now surrounded by ruins. He glanced around and shivered. That place looked like a wrecked battlegrounds. What were those lights though? Why did he teleport when those lights touched him? Lights. At that moment, he saw some lights emanating from the ruins. Lin Feng started walking towards them, crossing broken stones and other materials with each step. Skeletons, so many skeletons. What kind of war took place here? There were so many skeletons and they hadn't been corroded by the desolate qi of the Huang Sea. Some skeletons still had flesh on them. Those people were at least Zun cultivators. Tian-level cultivators' bodies couldn't remain for such a long time, especially in the Huang Sea. Those lights are dead spirits. Huang Fu-long had told him about those things which didn't die. Lin Feng's mouth twitched. Ow wow, a dead spirit light came towards Lin Feng. Its eyes looked gloomy and inauspicious. Bzzz. Lin Feng released some fire intent and attacked the spirit with a fireball. The spirit wailed in response. Lin Feng's fire contained some black fire which could corrode almost anything. The demon emperor had taught him how to use it. Lin Feng also relied on that strength to open the Jade Emperor's physical body and transform his heart. The transformation process was something complex and mysterious. Lin Feng didn't understand the transformation process that well, just a little, but he still managed to do it. However, even with that strength, Lin Feng couldn't destroy the spirit. Lin Feng felt annoyed. Even back then when Qiong Qi was a dead spirit, he wasn't that strong. That dead spirit's host was terrifyingly strong. Right. Qiong Qi. Lin Feng took out his animal tower and made Qiong Qi come out. Qiong Qi scratched his head and opened his eyes. Little boy, where are you now? There are so many dead spirits. It's a cave under the Huang Sea. There must have been a great war here in the past. Those are the cultivators who died during the war, I think. Lin Feng finally managed to kill the dead spirit and said to Qiong Qi, Emperor, I saw some lights when I arrived in a cave in the depths of the Huang Sea. They surrounded me and I ended up here. Why? You saw some lights? Qiong Qi's eyes were suddenly wide open. Lin Feng was surprised. What was going on? Little boy, you're incredibly lucky to have found such a place. Why didn't you have me come out before? Said Qiong Qi staring at Lin Feng in a strange way. He knew why Lin Feng had ended up in that abandoned city after having touched those lights. Incredibly lucky. Lin Feng looked skeptical. He said, so what's going on? Why did my friend tell me not to come down here? Your friend is ignorant. It means he isn't strong enough to come here anyways, so of course he thought it was dangerous. He doesn't know that many people only dream of making it here," said Xiong-chi. What kind of cultivator didn't want to find that amazing place? Little boy, if other people knew about that place, they would go insane. Your friend is really not a great cultivator, said Xiong-chi mockingly. Lin Feng was surprised. Xiong-chi knew a lot of things. Huang Fu-long came from Tian-chi and Ganyu, but he hadn't seen a lot in his life and thought that this place was dangerous. He, there's the body of an emperor here too, mumbled Xiong-chi. His eyes were twinkling, but he quickly calmed down. He suddenly looked at Lin Feng in a cruel way. Lin Feng had sealed his spirit in an animal. Emperor, stop fooling around. What is this place? Asked Lin Feng when he heard Xiong-chi mumbling. He was very curious. You know nothing, said Xiong-chi to Lin Feng. Looking proud and arrogant, he said, it's a small world. A small world? Lin Feng was confused. Arf, I'm an emperor, you're always been with me and yet, you still understand so little. Lin Feng sighed. He felt like punching Xiong-chi. What was that place? Couldn't he tell him instead of bragging about it? You've been to the Yang clan's territory and to Tiantai and so on, and you still don't know about these small worlds, asked Xiong-chi aggressively. Yang clan, Tiantai. Lin Feng's eyes started twinkling. He suddenly remembered Shinggong. Those places appeared as if they didn't exist. They appeared only under certain circumstances. Back in Tianjing City, he couldn't see Tiantai, but he started seeing Tiantai after he climbed up the stairs. Were all those places small worlds? Emperors can create their own small worlds so people can't see them from the outside. In the history of the continent of the Nine Clouds, there have been many emperors, and de facto, many small worlds. However, the Yang clan never had an emperor, which means they stole it, they invaded someone else's small world, explained Xiong-chi in a relaxed way. Lin Feng suddenly understood. He understood that Jade Emperor's mysterious world was actually a small world. You came here through the lights. Those lights are the small world. A small world can be found in a drop of water, in a grain of sand, in a star, in a stream of water. There are many different forms. You can't even begin to imagine. You're very lucky you ended up in an emperor's small world, on top of that, he's dead, which means his things, he. Xiong-chi felt excited as if he had found a treasure. Huang Fu-long said that something saved his life. It seems like he came to this small world too. Maybe he doesn't understand what happened to him and assumed it was dangerous, thought Lin Feng. There were many lights in the Huang Sea, and if they were all small worlds, it meant that they all represented an emperor. It seemed like many emperors died during that great war in the antiquity. Lin Feng's heart started racing. So many emperors had died during that great war, so all those small worlds. Lin Feng started shivering. Huang Fu-long had even been to a small world, so what about Yu, Jun Mo Shi and Yunfei Yang? Did they end up in other small worlds as well? Maybe they received the teachings of some great emperors. There was hope. Little boy, stop daydreaming. Even if nobody is alive in those small worlds, emperors died in them, so you need to take care of the dead spirits. Xiong-chi made Lin Feng come back to his senses. Lin Feng realized he was getting a bit too enthusiastic. Those small worlds could be dangerous, otherwise, Huang Fu-long wouldn't have been afraid. Damn, swore Lin Feng. You got the void fire and you're even stronger than me. It's easier for you to kill them, so why would I need to fight alone? Little boy, since you talk that way, I won't help you. We'll see if you can come out alive, and those things, you can try and fight them yourself. I won't help you, said Xiong-chi walking away. Even more dead spirits were coming towards Lin Feng. What a trashy emperor. Lin Feng was annoyed. Those dead spirits were difficult to deal with. Wu, a ghost came towards Lin Feng and tried to enter his third eye. No. Lin Feng shook his hand. Fire appeared as he attacked the dead spirit, but he hadn't managed to block him. The spirit continued moving. They were so strong and Qiong-Chi was hiding behind him. How shameless. Why had he let Qiong-Chi absorb the void fire if he wasn't going to help him? Slash, slash, lights moved towards Lin Feng's third eye again. Those spirits wanted to take over his body. Die. Dazzling flames appeared and turned into a sea of flames. All the dead spirits suddenly started burning, but they didn't die. Instead, they continued moving towards Lin Feng. Chapter 1096, Spirit Capture, How Strong. No wonder Huang Fu Long thought it was a dangerous place, thought Lin Feng. If Huang Fu Long didn't have his holy weapon, the dragon axe, he would have died. Seal. Lin Feng took out some demon seal stones. The ghost started moving slightly slower and then, they were sealed. Lin Feng understood demon sealing strength even better these days. Die, shouted Lin Feng coldly. He condensed pure qi in his flames which turned into a black lotus which seemed like it could annihilate anything. Several black lotuses appeared and constricted all the dead spirits. In a flash, the dead spirits were all wailing and shouting with pain. I'll kill you all, said Lin Feng. His fire was explosive now. Finally, he destroyed the last of the dead spirits. Gradually, they all died and disappeared. After all, those dead spirits were only broken souls. Their corpses had already decomposed a long time ago. Qiong-Chi looked at Lin Feng in a disdainful way and said, "Those damn dead spirits dare act arrogantly in front of me, an emperor. Lin Feng, look over there, there's an entrance. Let's go and take a look, this small world might be bigger than we originally thought." Damn. Lin Feng wanted to punch him. He was arrogant and annoying sometimes. But, Lin Feng didn't know how dangerous that place was, otherwise he would have put him away by now. Lin Feng walked forwards and punched a bunch of ruins. As expected, there really was an entrance. Let's go, said Lin Feng. Wait, wait, shouted Qiong-Chi. Lin Feng stopped. All those skeletons are precious treasures, they can be used to fabricate holy weapons, don't you want them? Asked Qiong-Chi arrogantly. Stop pestering me, said Lin Feng. He then took all the skeletons and left Qiong-Chi speechless. They continued walking further where they found even more ruins. There were many wrecked castles. Several strong cultivators had died in there and there were weapons were laying inside, covered in dust and stones. They're all holy weapons. They're all broken though. You might be able to do something with their pieces, said Qiong-Chi. Lin Feng looked around. There was a broken golden bell covered with dust and had split marks, a broken ancient mirror, a broken gourd, a broken sword. Those weapons were millions of years old, but Lin Feng could still sense their qi. There was a skeleton in front of Lin Feng holding a halberd. It had carvings on it, but there were many cracks in it. It certainly wasn't as powerful as it was in the past. The spear Yang Zilan obtained was a holy weapon, it must have been very powerful in the past. It had been in the depths of the Huang Sea for millions of years and the pirates of the island of the 9 dragons found it. Many of the weapons Lin Feng saw now had a qi similar to Yang Zilan's spear. Take them all, said Qiong-Chi. He looked a bit sad and said, even though they're broken and they have cracks, you can still use them to make weapons. If you find a strong weapon fabricator, he might even be able to repair them. Lin Feng nodded. He knew he couldn't give up those weapons. He gathered them all, skeletons, holy weapons, everything. Bzzz. When Lin Feng grabbed the halberd, a shadow appeared and moved towards Lin Feng. Boom. Lin Feng released some fire and jumped back. A ghost was sealed inside that weapon. I sealed myself inside a long time ago, finally, someone has showed up, said the ghost. His hair was fluttering as he was staring at Lin Feng. Damn ghost, swore Lin Feng. If that person had sealed themselves in the weapon millions of years ago, it could only be a broken soul. But he seemed stronger than that. Xiong-Chi ran behind Lin Feng. Lin Feng, it's only a soul without a body, take your holy weapon out and kill him, said Xiong-Chi trying to help. You also have a Xiong-Chi, said the ghost looking at Xiong-Chi. He looked interested. He then said to Lin Feng, little boy, give me your body, I will help you become incredibly strong. Keep dreaming. Lin Feng as he took out his Tianji sword and attacked the ghost. Boom boom. Cracking sounds were heard as the ghost's ethereal body divided itself and his Tianji sword didn't touch him. The ghost's ethereal body condensed again, he looked at Lin Feng and smiled in a cold way, it's useless. Give me your body and you'll become me, I'll become you. Doesn't that sound fair? The ghost's proposition sounded tempting. He had been waiting for so long to find someone. Lin Feng, run away, said Xiong-Chi to Lin Feng using telepathy. Lin Feng didn't falter as he turned around and ran away. The ghost followed without rushing. Xiong-Chi and Lin Feng were soon stuck as they ended up in a dead end. The ghost smiled in an evil and cruel way. I've been waiting for so long. I wonder how the world is now. Finally, I'll be able to see it again, the ghost continued moving towards Lin Feng, but at that moment, a dazzling light appeared. The ghost was caught off guard. His facial expression changed drastically as holy marks surrounded him. Spirit capture, whispered the ghost. He started shaking out of fear. The lights were absorbing him now. Spirit capture, how's that possible? How could a beast use spirit capture, the ghost wailed. He was surrounded by holy marks. He looked ferocious and roared aggressively. Damn ghost, you dare insult me, an emperor, said Xiong-Chi. There was fire in the holy marks. Ah, the ghost gave a horrible shriek. That Xiong-Chi was an emperor, surprisingly. Now it made sense as to how he could use holy marks. Lin Feng walked next to Xiong-Chi, he was surprised. Even though you came from the past, I am also 1,000 years old. Even though I'm now in a Xiong-Chi, I won't let an insect like you humiliate me. Call me Emperor, said Xiong-Chi. Lin Feng rolled his eyes. The ghost looked at him and said, I'm sorry Emperor, please let me off. I am willing to help you and fight on your side. Alright, it seems like you understand, so make your soul come out and offer it to me as a sacrifice. Then you'll become my slave. Let me off, shouted the ghost. That beast surprisingly wanted him to sacrifice himself. You're not as smart as I thought, said Xiong-Chi cruelly. He was a great emperor, so he wasn't going to let that ghost talk to him like that. Void fire began burning the spirit. Lin Feng was amazed. Xiong-Chi wasn't so easy to deal with. Stop, I'll do it, I'll sacrifice myself. The ghost had to be magnanimous, otherwise Xiong-Chi would kill him. Xiong-Chi accepted the sacrifice and became the master of the soul. Which era are you from? Who created this small world? What is your relation to him? Are there ruins in all the ancient small worlds? Lin Feng asked many questions. Xiong-Chi now had a slave, so they could finally get some answers. It would be a lot easier to find all the ruins with the dead spirit as their guide. After all, he was a strong cultivator who had died in that small world. Chapter 1097, Emperor's Body, What Era? Whispered the ghost. He looked confused because he had forgotten. He only knew that he had been there for a very, very long time. I don't know how long it's been, I just know that the ancient imperial court started fighting against the animal clan because of the celestial emperor's fall. Many influential groups were involved. It was like hell on earth. The whole world started fighting and we were all buried inside ancient imperial court. Xiong-Chi's heart started racing. He thought he was old, but that ghost was a lot older than him. In any case, that extremely strong cultivator from the antiquity had become his slave. "You know the ancient imperial court?" asked Lin Feng. "Who was that?" "I received some memories, but just a part. I just know that it was a very powerful group hundreds of thousands of years ago in the continent of the Nine Clouds. I don't know why it disappeared, because of the long river of hell or because people destroyed them. The great ancient war started because of them though, I think," said Xiongqi. The ghost story was similar to some of his memories which made him happy. Hundreds of thousands of years. Lin Feng was astonished. "What is the long river of hell?" "Is it the Huangxi hell?" asked Lin Feng. "Did hell really exist?" "Huangxi?" asked the ghost surprised. He didn't know what the Huangxi was. "We're under the depths of the Huangxi right now. It probably appeared because of the war you just mentioned," replied Lin Feng. That's what he had heard about the Huangxi. He didn't know exactly what happened hundreds of thousands of years before though. Only those ghosts could know. "Why is it called the Huangxi?" "The war opened a door to hell. Did the corrosive energies of hell turn into a sea?" asked the ghost. He was curious. Lin Feng was incredulous. Corrosive energies of hell? Had they turned into the Huangxi? Did hell really exist? "Emperor," said Lin Feng to Qiongqi. Qiongqi looked at Lin Feng and said slowly, "I don't know either. I know it has something to do with hell though." "How?" asked Lin Feng. He didn't understand. "In Jiuyu, there's a forbidden place. It is said that it is a link to hell and that the energies of hell flow from there. It is a place of decay and destruction," said Qiongqi indifferently. Jiuyu seemed like a scary place. "What was the cultivation level of the emperor who created this place and who were you to him?" asked Lin Feng. "An emperor, a low-level one, another emperor's servant. He died during the Great War. The small world was destroyed by some people and turned into ruins. I was his servant." An emperor who was an emperor's servant, thought Lin Feng. It seemed like there were cultivators stronger than emperors. "Are there other historical remains?" "I don't know. We were attacked by surprise by an extremely strong cultivator. We were all destroyed as well as our weapons. I studied a mysterious book that taught me how to seal my spirit in a holy weapon. That's how I survived. The emperor must have been killed too. I don't know if there are any more historical remains," explained the ghost. "I'll find you a great physical body when we get back," said Lin Feng to the ghost. In the Jade Emperor's palace, there were many strong cultivators, and with Lin Feng's current strength, there were many people he still couldn't control. Lin Feng had hoped he could become friends with that ghost. Qiongqi could use holy marks anyways to control the ghost if he got out of hand. That ghost would become strong again, after hundreds of thousands of years. Lin Feng continued exploring the small world. Just as the ghost had said, everything was destroyed. Lin Feng found some palaces and gardens which were used to practice cultivation, however, they possessed no qi. How incredible, the emperor could do whatever he wanted inside, build things and so on, thought Lin Feng. He hoped he would become an emperor someday, then he would make his own small world too and would bring all his friends and family members inside. He would build great palaces and gardens just like this or even better. Of course, Lin Feng could only imagine that. The path of cultivation was a difficult one and he could only progress step by step. He needed to become a Zun cultivator and then an emperor. The second broken soul Lin Feng encountered had also studied a mysterious technique, but Qiongqi also used a technique to force him to sacrifice himself and become his servant. Lin Feng was happy. Two spirits, he just had to give them strong physical bodies and he would have two Zun-level friends from the ancient past. Of course, Lin Feng also found some more holy weapons. There wasn't a single weapon left in perfect condition. The two ghosts they had would have decayed like those weapons if they hadn't studied a special technique. At that moment, Lin Feng arrived in front of a blue palace. it still looked luxuriant with strange marks on it. "That's where our master lived and practiced cultivation," said the two ghosts. They still looked scared while standing in front of it. There was a gigantic hand mark on it. A strong cultivator had slapped the palace to destroy it. An emperor's palace. Lin Feng entered the palace. He would probably find the best treasures inside. Xiong Qi's eyes were twinkling as he closely followed Lin Feng. He used to be an emperor, but now he needed to recover. That palace was gigantic. Even though it was covered with dust, it was still luxuriant. There was a throne farther inside, and under that throne, there was a corpse. A perfect corpse with flesh. Lin Feng was amazed. If that was an emperor's body, then he really hit a jackpot. It was a precious treasure, many people would go insane just to have it. Chapter 1098, Cursing Strength, It's Not the Only One. Lin Feng saw many other corpses but they were just skeletons. Two skeletons looked smaller than the rest, they were even twinkling. Women, thought Lin Feng immediately. They were the emperor's women. He had more than 10 women, but had 2 favorite ones. One was his main wife and the second one was his favorite concubine, said one of the ghosts. He, I also had more than 10 women, but now they must be dead already. Lin Feng, little boy, you have to become stronger and you'll have more women too. They'll be at your service day and night, said Xiong Qi laughing. Xue Ling Long isn't bad, if you help her become a queen, you'll be a king. Ling Long rolled his eyes. That bastard wasn't respectful at all. Besides, to have very powerful cultivators as concubines, Lin Feng had to be even stronger. The corpses of the emperor's 2 favorite women hadn't decayed, which meant they weren't weak. They were at least Zun-level cultivators. Lin Feng, take that bow, it's not bad, said Xiong Qi staring at a bow in the emperor's hand. The bow had been there for a long time, even though it was covered in dust, it was still twinkling. When the emperor faced his enemy, he wanted to use his bow to protect himself, but didn't have the time to use it and was killed. And the strong cultivator who killed him didn't take the bow because it wasn't powerful enough for him. An emperor's weapon. Lin Feng walked over and took it. He looked at the arrow in his hand too, it was broken but still twinkling. Lin Feng was wondering what material it had been fabricated with. The arrow was still very sharp. It's ebony, very very difficult to break. Too bad they're broken now. That bow was one of the emperor's favorite holy weapons. There are some holy marks on it and it contains energies of the path. It's not as powerful as back in the day, though. Indeed, that bow was incredible, he could easily kill people with it, said the 2 Zun cultivators nostalgically. But that was a weapon of highest quality. Apart from the holy marks, it also contained the energy of the path. Lin Feng started to imagine what it was like to be an emperor, killing people in one strike and so on. Those arrows are made of dragon tendons, they're not broken. They can still be used. And even though the bow is broken, it is still powerful. At least, it's enough for you, little boy. Even if you don't use it, you can sell it. Many emperors would be interested in buying it, said Xiong Qi. Lin Feng was amazed. Those arrows were made of high-quality animal matter. If he could repair the bow, he would be able to sell it at a sky-high price. As expected, perfect corporeal body, thought Lin Feng looking at the body. Even though he died hundreds of thousands of years before, he still looked like he had just been killed. He had black and messy hair, his facial expression was sharp, he had no external injuries. That emperor seemed like he refused to die. Take the body, said Xiong Qi. Lin Feng was speechless. Xiong Qi was like a pirate. Lin Feng was about to take the corpse when suddenly, some qi emerged from it. The corpse opened his eyes. Tap, 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 Lin Feng took a few steps back, his body was suddenly sore. Was the emperor still alive? He looked at the body which calmed down again as if it had never moved. What's going on? Thought Lin Feng surprised. What was going on? The corpse had opened his eyes. How scary. What's wrong? Asked Xiong Qi. He opened his eyes and I sensed some energies. Eh? Xiong Qi grinded his teeth and said, he died hundreds of years ago, he didn't want to die, but now he's only a corpse. He can't condense qi, so try again. Lin Feng was skeptical. What? You doubt what I tell you? Asked Xiong Qi furiously. I'll try. Lin Feng touched the body again as if he wanted to take it. Boom, strength emerged again and hurt Lin Feng. He was propelled backwards. How come it's so strong? Lin Feng was speechless. He isn't completely dead it seems, said Xiong Qi. Lin Feng rolled his eyes. Why did he make him try again then? I need to kill him properly, said Xiong Qi. Why hadn't he done it before? Xiong Qi drew some holy marks on the body. Lin Feng looked around. There were some drawings left by the emperor and they all contained Bao energy. Lin Feng sensed some strength inside them. What kind of strength is that? Lin Feng was amazed. There was a huge word with strength inside. It almost seemed alive, as if it could destroy the earth and sky. If I want to become an emperor, that's the kind of thing I need to learn, thought Lin Feng. Those words were like other worlds. What kind of strength is that? Lin Feng looked at a gigantic word, it seemed like it could kill him. Strength emerged from several words and moved towards Lin Feng. It was the strength of a curse. I can't let that strength get near me, thought Lin Feng. He bit his lips and came back to his senses. A sound spread in the air as Lin Feng fell down on his bottom. He was sweating heavily. He was still staring at those huge letters. Those words could kill people. What's wrong? Asked the ghosts to Lin Feng. They sounded curious. The emperor used to practice cultivation in that palace, so they had never been inside. They couldn't understand the words on the walls, so what was wrong with Lin Feng? Those words contain curse strength, said Lin Feng. The two ghosts were surprised. You saw them and you even understand its curse strength? Are you sure it's curse strength? The two ghosts seemed dumbstruck. What is your spirit? Asked the two ghosts staring at Lin Feng. How could a cultivator of the fourth Tian Qi layer understand holy marks? Did he have an incredible spirit? People who had ice spirits or who had incredible and famous spirits could understand things better than others, but that was something they had from birth. Such cultivators could become emperors easily. Spirit? Lin Feng was surprised and whispered, "Nine-headed dragon spirit." Nine-headed dragon spirit, repeated the two ghosts. It could absorb strength, if it was strong enough, it could absorb other people's spirits, that kind of spirit was incredible. There were still some spirits it couldn't swallow though. Such spirits could only be transmitted via the traditional method. Was Lin Feng special? He could see the energies of the path after all. He could even see curse strength. Chapter 1099, Cursing Scepter. Are you sure you can see curse strength? The two ghosts sounding serious, as if Lin Feng was hiding something. Even though I'm not strong and have only broken through to the fourth Tian Qi layer, I am good at recognizing strength and energies. If I hadn't bitten my lips to come back to my senses, I would have been cursed, said Lin Feng, remembering what had happened a moment before. It was very scary. The two ghosts glanced at each other, surprised. Do you know anything? Asked Lin Feng indifferently. Our master, apart from a powerful Bao, had another holy weapon. It contained an unfathomable strength, it was a holy weapon of highest quality which could curse people. We've never seen our master use it, we just heard that he put it in the palace to study cursing techniques and skills. I think it hasn't been broken yet, said one of the ghosts. The energy Lin Feng had sensed was probably related to that weapon. What do you mean? Asked Lin Feng to the ghosts. If you really sensed cursing energy, try and figure out where it came from. Perhaps, you'll find the weapon. Again. Lin Feng was dumbstruck. He had almost died sensing that strength, so he was too keen on trying it again. If you have the impression it's going to kill you, just stop. You really should try to understand it again, though, said one of the ghosts. Lin Feng had managed to stop the first time, so a second time shouldn't be a problem. Lin Feng's eyes twinkled. He glanced at Xiongqi. Xiongqi was still trying to control the emperor's corporeal body. All right. Lin Feng nodded and tried again. It would be great to obtain that holy weapon. It was probably a lot more powerful than the demon sword. That could be a new hidden ace. Lin Feng sat down cross-legged and took out his Xian Yuan stone. At the same time, he opened his celestial book and started meditating. He could see all the words written on the walls of the palace. He could sense his surroundings distinctly. The two Zun cultivators were looking at Lin Feng in a solemn and respectful way. Lin Feng wasn't an ordinary cultivator of the fourth Tian Qi layer. He possessed incredible analytical skills. If he continues becoming stronger, he'll become an incredible emperor. The two ghosts glanced at each other. Even they couldn't do what Lin Feng was doing. In the antiquity, they had only met a few people like him and they had incredible spirits guiding them. Lin Feng didn't know what the two ghosts were thinking, he was concentrating on his practice. A gray qi appeared and Lin Feng's heart started beating faster. The cursing strength had appeared again. So much cursing strength, thought Lin Feng. If he sensed all those energies at once, he would surely die. Come. Lin Feng attracted threads of cursing strength one by one. He blocked them and tried to control them. The cursing qi was becoming even more intense as it seemed alive and condensed. A scepter. The qi above Lin Feng's head was slowly turning into a scepter which glowed with strange colors. It looked both majestic and evil. An incredible curse scepter. Lin Feng shivered. The energies had turned into a scepter. The ghosts were right. The two Zun cultivators also saw the words diffusing cursing energies. Lin Feng really was attracting those energies. Bzzz. The walls started shaking as the energies continued condensing and Lin Feng stopped. He knew that he didn't need to study them anymore. He raised his head, the scepter above him became increasingly clearer. It was going to appear. Xiongqi stopped what he was doing and looked at the scepter. Little boy, you're the luckiest person I have ever met. You found it. No wonder we're friends, said Xiongqi. Lin Feng ignored him, he was looking at the scepter. Bzzz. Terrifying cursing energies spread in the air. The scepter finally became real, a real high-quality holy weapon. Our master really hid the scepter in the walls so we couldn't sense the energies. The two ghosts were surprised for they had never seen the scepter before. Lin Feng sensed the qi and wondered if he could use it. Could he be cursed by those energies? At that moment, the scepter slowly fell down towards Lin Feng. What did he have to do? Dodge or catch it? He moved backwards, but the scepter continued following him. Lin Feng was speechless. Did the scepter recognize him? You're starting to piss me off again, said Xiongqi. Lin Feng was so lucky, the scepter, a high-quality holy weapon, even recognized him and Lin Feng avoided it. Was he stupid? It has its own life and it wants you as its master, why do you avoid it? Why did the scepter choose a moron as a master and not me, said Xiongqi annoyed. Lin Feng didn't know. Won't the cursing energy affect me though? Asked Lin Feng in a weak voice. Xiongqi signed. The two Zun cultivators glanced at each other too. Lin Feng was too lucky. Don't worry, it chose you as a master so it won't curse you, said Xiongqi grinding his teeth. Lin Feng was humiliating the scepter. How can I know if nobody tells me, said Lin Feng laughing. He stretched his hand and grabbed the scepter. It was very cold, but then it became warm in Lin Feng's hand. Like Qiong Qi had said, it didn't curse him. There were some marks on the scepter and it also contained the energy of the path. It was very enigmatic. Lin Feng pointed the scepter towards Qiong Qi. Scepter, curse him. Bzzz. Cursing energies emerged and moved towards Qiong Qi, who shouted furiously, "You bastard!" Qiong Qi spat out fire and destroyed the cursing energies. I can do that too. Lin Feng looked at the scepter, speechless. He had never used such a scepter before. Did it listen to his orders? That was a real holy weapon. If the demon sword could listen to him too, how great would that be? Lin Feng laughed. He was relieved and happy. He smiled and said, "If you continue annoying me, I'll curse you and prevent you from becoming an emperor again." Qiong Qi looked at Lin Feng in a cold way. How cruel. He would have to be nice to Lin Feng in the future if he didn't want to get cursed. Chapter 1100, Gigantic Holy Spell. "You dared use the scepter against me, little boy," said Qiong Qi looking at Lin Feng. Lin Feng rolled his eyes. Lin Feng understood that without Qiong Qi, the two dead spirits would have killed him before now. Lin Feng hadn't refined the weapon yet, but it could still obey Lin Feng. He was getting ready to refine it now, though. "What are you doing?" said Qiong Qi to Lin Feng. He was speechless. Lin Feng was surprisingly trying to refine the weapon in that place. "You're so ignorant. What a humiliation it is to be your friend. I solved the problem with the emperor, and found that his throne is also a precious item. There are things carved in it. You should sit on it to understand its strength." "There's the Blue Palace too," said Qiong Qi sighing. "Didn't you say there were other small worlds? Let's go to the other small worlds." Qiong Qi had more energy than Lin Feng sometimes. He was just going to refine his weapon there, but Qiong Qi wanted to empty out all of the small worlds. Then Lin Feng would be able to do whatever he wanted with the weapons. Of course, Lin Feng knew that Qiong Qi was right. They had to hurry. Lin Feng walked towards the emperor's body. "The emperor's body is mine," said Qiong Qi. "The throne is yours." "You bastard," said Lin Feng. Did Qiong Qi want to use the emperor's body for himself? "I'll lend it to you for now," said Lin Feng. Qiong Qi looked at him, that little boy. Lin Feng sat down on the throne and sensed an incredible energy. The earth and sky started shaking, making Lin Feng feel a little queasy. Lin Feng raised his head and mysterious marks started twinkling. They contained a spell. Wow! Lin Feng was speechless. Qiong Qi was right. Everything was a treasure in that palace. There was a holy weapon of high quality, the scepter. There was the body of the emperor, the throne, so many treasures. And even the ceiling contained treasures. Lin Feng stared at the ceiling as a gigantic hand suddenly moved towards him. At the same time, it turned into a sword whose energies were very oppressive. The sword then turned into a spear and then turned back into a divine hand again. The hand turned into 5 fingers which seemed as solid as mountains. Phew! Lin Feng could barely breathe and he was sweating, his clothes were fluttering in the energies. The energies even seemed alive. What a powerful attack, thought Lin Feng. The energies then condensed back into the ceiling. When the energies condensed, they turned into a gigantic word which had the strength of the firmament. Gigantic Holy Spell. Lin Feng was stunned. That attack reminded him of Yuan Fei's gigantic destruction rod spell. Qiu Yuxian had told him that the Great Ape Emperor had given him 81 gigantic destruction rod spells, and this gigantic holy spell looked similar. It contained the same kind of energy and its name was similar. The gigantic holy spell is from the antiquity. The gigantic destruction rod spell must have been created later and is probably based on the gigantic holy spell. Maybe the Great Ape Emperor's ancestor studied the gigantic holy spell, thought Lin Feng. Of course, he couldn't be sure, but at least he understood the energies used to cast the gigantic destruction rod spell. He sat down calmly and meditated, trying to study that spell. Incredible energies appeared, and they kept changing. Lin Feng studied for a long time. He couldn't understand all the specificities of the spell though, especially in such a short time. Even Zun cultivators couldn't. Only emperors could master spells at that level. Xiong Qi and the two ghosts sensed that Lin Feng was becoming stronger, so they didn't disturb him. They looked at the ceiling, but they couldn't see much besides some holy marks. They definitely couldn't sense them like Lin Feng. What's going on again? Xiong Qi didn't understand it either. Lin Feng had been able to attract the scepter, now Lin Feng was learning something Xiong Qi couldn't understand himself. Lin Feng had exceeded his expectations already. Die, shouted Lin Feng as a hand moved towards Xiong Qi with incredible speed. Boom! Xiong Qi didn't have time to react and was bombarded by Lin Feng's attack. He shouted furiously, "How dare you attack me by surprise?" He suddenly started moving as fast as he could. Lin Feng couldn't see him anymore. How fast? Lin Feng released more hand attacks everywhere inside the room. Xiong Qi was bombarded again. I'm angry now. Xiong Qi looked like he was going to attack, but then he saw that Lin Feng had stopped attacking and was now giggling. He had a resplendent smile on his face. Emperor, I just wanted to try my new spell. You're helping me learn cultivation, don't be angry, said Lin Feng laughing. Xiong Qi rolled his eyes. Of course, I couldn't get angry with you anyways. You're right, that's also why I told you I wanted to travel the world with you, it's to help you become stronger. Each time you learn new skills, you can practice them with me. He was proud to be Lin Feng's teacher. But what skill did you just use? Your hands turned into mountains. Gigantic holy spell, I obtained it in this palace. When I become stronger, it'll be terrifying. Unfortunately, I'm still too weak, said Lin Feng. Xiong Qi was speechless. Lin Feng really was lucky. The gigantic holy spell was a great spell that many strong cultivators only dreamt of having. It was an ancient spell with hundreds of variations. It's a great treasure too. Try and see if you can take the whole palace, said Xiong Qi. Lin Feng knew they had to rush. He stood up and put his hand on the throne. He wanted to take it, but realized the throne was stuck. Capture, shouted Lin Feng furiously. The whole palace was suddenly surrounded by Lin Feng's strength. He used his gigantic holy spell and a gigantic hand appeared and grabbed the palace. Boom boom boom, rumbling sound spread in the air and the ground shook. Lin Feng was taking the whole palace. But at that moment, dazzling light appeared and surrounded Lin Feng. Those dazzling lights contained an incredible and invisible strength. Chapter 1101, A Girl's Room, BZZZ, a terrifying strength surrounded Lin Feng's body and lights flashed. Lin Feng felt like he was being swallowed by some kind of strength. Teleportation. Lin Feng quickly realized that he was leaving the palace. At the moment he took the emperor's throne, teleportation strength enveloped him and brought him somewhere else. Lin Feng hoped he wouldn't end up too far. BZZZ. Lin Feng sensed that he was landing somewhere. However, everything was dark around him, there was no light. Lin Feng couldn't tell where he was. It seems like I got happy too fast, thought Lin Feng smiling wryly. He thought he was going to go to another small world, he hadn't expected to be teleported somewhere else. Xiong Qi didn't get teleported with him though. Lin Feng wasn't worried about Xiong Qi though, he was strong and had been living for thousands of years. He would find a way to meet up with Lin Feng. Huang Fu Long, you probably don't need to wait for me anymore, thought Lin Feng. Maybe Huang Fu Long would think that Lin Feng had died. Lin Feng had hoped though, maybe that Yu and the others ended up in other small worlds and were teleported too. Maybe they had even found a way to leave the small worlds. Lin Feng hoped he would continue being so lucky. After a short while, Lin Feng realized that place he was in looked like a cave. There were many weapons, but they were all broken or unusable. Lin Feng's first thought was that this place was probably a cave where an emperor practiced cultivation and that someone had attacked him by surprise. The attacker had only taken the best weapons and left the unusable items there. Lin Feng took a few steps forwards and realized that the place was sealed by a layer of mud. He was buried underground, it seemed. Even though it's all wrecked, this place still contains forces and energies, thought Lin Feng, sensing the extraordinary energies. It would still be good to practice cultivation inside. I wonder where his body is, whispered Lin Feng. Lin Feng released energies and started digging through the ceiling. As expected, he was very deep in the ground. After a short while, Lin Feng sensed very pleasant energies as he was about to break through to the surface. This place is very beautiful and seemingly breeds talent, the pure qi here is incredible. It's a kind of celestial qi. I almost feel drunk inside. At that moment, Lin Feng suddenly stopped and stretched his hand. He touched something very hard. It was preventing him from going out. He condensed some sharp energies in his hand and punched that solid matter. Crackling sounds were heard as the stone broke. How hard, whispered Lin Feng. He tried to pierce through the earth's surface, but he was still stuck and ended up in a room. That place contained a woman's qi. It smelt good yet very old. That place was a woman's chamber. Besides, the very hard thing he had just broken was actually a stone bed. Lin Feng was annoyed. He realized that initially someone was on the bed he had just broken, a woman. She was practicing cultivation when he attacked the bed, so she was completely defenseless and was struck by Lin Feng's attack. Her qi went chaotic and her mouth was now bleeding. Lin Feng was speechless and started sweating. He would have been killed by his own attack. The beautiful woman looked at him in a cold way. Her beautiful body was covered with a white cloth, her face was covered with a white veil. That was more beauty than one could take in. If she had been smiling, all the flowers in the world would have seemed flavorless in comparison. They both remained silent. Lin Feng smiled. He was embarrassed as he said, "I'm so sorry. I didn't do that on purpose." "Why the hell were you buried under my bed?" said the girl finally. Lin Feng looked at her. He didn't know what to say. Did she believe him when he said he hadn't done that on purpose? Lin Feng felt so awkward. He smiled wryly. He knew he couldn't really explain. He took out a pill and walked towards her. "It doesn't matter if you believe me or not, I really didn't do that on purpose, here is a healing pill." Even if he didn't do it on purpose, he still ended up in a woman's bedroom and injured her. "Stop, do you think I will trust you?" said the woman coldly, releasing powerful energies. Even though she was badly injured, she still remained vigilant. "Who are you? Why did you do that?" shouted the girl furiously. Lin Feng's body became rigid. "She's trying to alert people," thought Lin Feng suddenly. However, he didn't say anything as he started running. When the girl saw that, she was surprised. She didn't understand what was going on. If Lin Feng hadn't come into her room for her, why had he come? How shameless. Lin Feng wanted to leave, but he sensed two threads of qi which constricted him. "Let me go." Lin Feng saw two girls. They had both broken through to the fourth Tian qi layer and were sword cultivators. He truly didn't know where he was. Lin Feng stretched out his hand and released sharp sword energies too. His whole body turned into a sword as he tried to get between those two girls. "Someone attacked," shouted the two girls loudly. Lin Feng sensed a powerful qi which blocked him. A few people arrived in the air. Zun cultivators, and their qi was powerful. "You'll die here," shouted the cultivators furiously. Their voices made Lin Feng shake from head to foot. "Bad luck now." Lin Feng had been lucky the whole time and now he was very unlucky. Where was he? There were many strong cultivators. There were more than a dozen Zun cultivators surrounding him. He couldn't do anything against them. Lin Feng had guessed right, that place was very beautiful and bred talent. A powerful group had established themselves there. Chapter 1102, Kidnapping, Go Back. Lin Feng turned around. He didn't have his lifeboat and he also couldn't use his demon sword to escape from so many strong cultivators. Worse even, those strong cultivators were probably not the only ones there. Lin Feng turned around. He wanted to use his initial path to retreat, but the two girls looked at him while they released more sword energies. Move! Lin Feng condensed golden energies in his hands and pushed the two girls aside. He moved like the wind without wasting time. The two girls thought that Lin Feng was quite strong. It was no wonder that he had attacked the other girl in her room. Stop! They chased Lin Feng, but Lin Feng was using his Xiaoyao agility technique and was too fast for them. The girl in white was injured and was still healing herself. She released ice-cold energies when she saw Lin Feng trying to escape. Sorry, I need to protect myself. Lin Feng moved with incredible speed. He needed to use her as a shield if he wanted to escape. Try and dare. The girl's eyes looked cold and dazzling. The qi in her room was pure and smelt good. Lin Feng was disappointed. He didn't want to attack such a beautiful woman. At that moment, he slightly stopped. He watched as a white lotus appeared and became large enough to envelop him. She's injured and yet she's still so strong, thought Lin Feng. He was surprised. Break! Lin Feng's fingers turned into sharp blades as he attacked the white lotus, however, he couldn't break it. Burn! Lin Feng condensed fire and pure qi which turned into a black and gloomy lotus. His evil energy corroded the pure white lotus. Then, Lin Feng continued running. The girl's facial expression changed. She released celestial qi, and suddenly the entire room was filled with white lotuses made of pure energy. They surrounded Lin Feng. Now he could barely move. It seemed like the energies in the room couldn't be corroded any with his strength anymore. What kind of place is this? She's so strong, thought Lin Feng. At that moment, many strong cultivators had gathered outside. Lin Feng realized it didn't look good for him. Less and less energies appeared in the room. Finally, the girl was so injured that she couldn't keep up her best strength. Let me go. Lin Feng released black fire and destroyed the pure energies around him. He trampled on the ground and released energies which moved towards the girl. Sorry. Holy and dazzling lights appeared as Lin Feng's fist turned into a gigantic golden hand. It moved towards the girl and grabbed her. She couldn't stop him this time. Bastard, shouted the girl furiously. Nobody had ever touched her. Now, a stranger had broken into her room and grabbed her so forcefully. Seal. A terrifying strength emerged from the gigantic golden hand and sealed the girl's qi. She could barely move now. Lin Feng dragged her towards him and she turned deathly pale. The gigantic holy spell is quite powerful, as expected, thought Lin Feng. He had just learned it, but it was already quite powerful. She was struggling to break free but couldn't. Stop, shouted Lin Feng coldly, turning around and looking at the people coming from outside. Do you know what you're doing? Asked someone in a cold way. Surprisingly, someone had dared enter the girl's room. That was irresponsible. How had he managed to break into her room anyways? I didn't do it on purpose. I was teleported under the room. I was lost and wanted to come out. Let me go and I'll let her go, said Lin Feng calmly. He didn't know where he was. He had to remain vigilant. He had to make them understand that this was all a big misunderstanding. All right, let her go and we'll let you go, said one of them. Lin Feng couldn't agree with that. If he let the girl go first, they'd kill him in a flash. I'm sorry, I'll leave with her and when I'm safe, I'll let her go, said Lin Feng suddenly rising up in the air. He broke through the ceiling on the room, which collapsed afterwards. You two lead the way, otherwise I can't guarantee her safety. Try and dare, shouted the two girls furiously. Lin Feng was insane. You better let her go, little boy, said an old man. Lin Feng looked around, there were so many strong cultivators. He didn't want to be those people's enemy, how scary. He needed to escape as soon as possible. Lead the way. Lin Feng released sword energies to show them that if he wanted, he could kill the girl easily. Alright, no problem, said someone staring at Lin Feng. After I leave, go and check the ground under her room, it contains dragon chi. That place is very beautiful and breeds talent. I didn't come here on purpose, explained Lin Feng. Whether you believe me or not, just let me go now. Lin Feng was fixedly staring at the two girls and releasing chi, but his chi wasn't too powerful, he didn't want to scare them. The two girls looked hesitant and the girl Lin Feng was holding said, lead the way. Even though she was scared and furious, she looked so beautiful. Roger, said the two girls and their silhouettes flickered. They started leading the way. All the Zun cultivators were looking at one person. Let Baguio go, nothing will happen to her, said that person indifferently. After that, he walked into the girls' room and looked where Lin Feng had told them to look. He seemed pensive. He didn't lie. There was indeed a very powerful energy in there. An emperor must have lived here before. Did he really end up here by accident then? I don't think he lied. Otherwise, how could a cultivator of the fourth Tian Chi layer make it in here? We can't let him off even if he didn't lie though, everybody was saying what they thought as if they had forgotten the world around them. Lin Feng smelt and saw flowers, he saw palaces from which produced incredible pure chi. That territory probably belonged to a powerful group of influence. At that moment, two silhouettes rose in the horizon, one of them had a very particular chi and looked extremely strong. Sorry, whispered Lin Feng. Lin Feng put his hands around the girl as if he had been close to her and not as if he was kidnapping her. When they saw him, they were surprised. One of them, a young man, looked furious. Put your dirty hands away, said the young man coldly. But Lin Feng hugged the girl even tighter. It has nothing to do with you, said the girl coldly while frowning. Lin Feng continued moving. Lin Feng just glanced at the young man indifferently. The young man released cold energies as if he wanted to attack Lin Feng, but the person next to him stopped him. Shui Baguio has been kidnapped, said that person indifferently. The young man was startled. No wonder, otherwise, she would have never let a man touch her like that. I want to save her, said the young man. The other responded, the elders let him go because he's strong. If you try to save her, it would be counterproductive. You don't need to worry about her. You need to become stronger if you want to take care of her, said that person taking the young man away. Chapter 1103, Strong Woman. Lin Feng realized that the place was gigantic. They ran for a long time and encountered many people on the way. They saw many Zun cultivators too. However, they just glanced at Lin Feng and the girl, but did nothing. They seemed to believe that worldly affairs had nothing to do with them. Some young men became infuriated when they saw that Lin Feng and the girl looked close. They wanted to attack Lin Feng, but the elders prevented them from attacking. Lin Feng remained silent the entire way, he just wanted to leave as soon as possible. Finally, they arrived at the exit. Lin Feng stopped. They were in a small world. A small world, again. You can leave from here. You can let her go now, said the two girls coldly. I'm sorry, I'm not in a safe place yet, replied Lin Feng as he left. As he came out, Lin Feng saw a forest and a mountain range under him. He was in the sky. What a beautiful landscape. Lin Feng sighed, he turned around and looked at the place where he had just come from. There were only sheer precipices and overhanging rocks. There was a mist which contained a celestial chi. The pure chi is so dense here, it looks like a fairyland. What is this place? Asked Lin Feng to the girl. She just looked at him indifferently, but didn't reply. Surprisingly, Lin Feng didn't know where he was. Never mind. Forget it, said Lin Feng. The pure chi in the mountains was incredible. Lin Feng used his Xiaoyao agility technique and left. The two girls tried to chase him, but he disappeared too fast. After a long time, they finally left the mountain range and arrived in a misty place. Lin Feng was surprised to find a city there. That mountain range was a small world, whispered Lin Feng. He was surprised. He really wanted to know where he was now. Many people noticed Lin Feng and the girl. When they saw the girl, they were speechless. Who's that young man? Many people were looking at Lin Feng furiously. They all know you, said Lin Feng to the girl. But he continued moving as fast as he could. There were so many strong cultivators there, he had to be vigilant and continue moving forward. What Lin Feng didn't know was that everybody noticed how forcefully he was holding on to her. He seemed like he was forcing her to be his girlfriend. Finally, he arrived in a seemingly calm place and landed. Nobody had lived there for a long time. Lin Feng looked at the girl. She remained silent as if nothing could affect her at that moment. Where are we? Asked Lin Feng. He was worried. He hoped he wasn't far from Ba Huang province. The girl just remained silent. At that moment, Lin Feng sensed some strange chi. It was a celestial chi. You're healing, said Lin Feng. The girl probably knew a spell to heal herself secretly. Boom! Lin Feng released a powerful chi, but his demon seal stone quickly lost its effect. The girl immediately broke free and looked at him coldly. Her white clothes were fluttering in the wind as she looked like a celestial being. A pure snow lotus appeared in her hand and moved towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng had interrupted her at a crucial moment of her cultivation and had injured her. Then, he had kidnapped her. Lin Feng released dazzling sword energies. Slash! A petal as sharp as a sword appeared in the snow lotus and moved towards Lin Feng. Destroy! Lin Feng's fingers were like sharp blades. He grabbed the lotus petal, but couldn't break it. Slash, slash, many petals separated and shot towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng was suddenly surrounded by sharp whistling petals. Even though she was injured, she was still very strong. I told you I didn't do it on purpose. You can leave now, there's no need to fight, said Lin Feng, releasing more whistling sword energies. He even released his level 7 sword intent. If you didn't do it on purpose, why did you do it then? Said the girl. She really didn't believe him. She was about to break through to the next cultivation layer when Lin Feng interrupted her. She practiced celestial cultivation. Reborn, shouted the girl furiously. Snow lotus petals started floating in the wind again. Sharp lotus, the lotus started rotating in the air and moving towards Lin Feng like a boomerang. It completely destroyed Lin Feng's sword chi. How strong, thought Lin Feng. The girl remained silent. She was still healing. Bzzz. Dazzling silver lights appeared from Lin Feng's back. He slowly opened his silver wings. They were extremely sharp as they moved towards the lotus. Metallic sounds sharply sounded in the air. The girl groaned and her lotus suddenly appeared above Lin Feng's head. She released even more dazzling snow energies. Lin Feng flapped his silver wings. Snow petals kept floating around him. Chou clan spirit, said the girl. Lin Feng's eyes twinkled. The girl knew the Chou clan, which meant he wasn't too far. He had to be in Ba Huang province. Maybe that he was even still in the northern part. Otherwise, the girl wouldn't have recognized the Chou clan spirit. Snow lotus vitality, said the girl. Celestial energies filled the air. Lin Feng flapped his wings and moved towards the girl. He wanted to grab her again, but snow petals kept emerging from her body and surrounding Lin Feng's legs. What kind of power is that, thought Lin Feng. Then, he released fire energies and attracted the energies of the sun. But, he still couldn't manage to break the snow petals. The girl moved again and a lotus moved towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng's eyes twinkled. He punched the air as roaring sounds echoed. At the same time, Lin Feng released a black fire. The girl was surprised. She hadn't thought that the cultivator of the fourth Tian Qi layer who kidnapped her could be so strong. She thought that she could easily beat him. Destroy. Sword Qi rose up in the air as he flew towards her. She was so strong that Lin Feng felt more determined than ever. Lin Feng's facial expression was cold. He was holding his bow as he said, "You're too confident in yourself." Bzzz. Lin Feng shot arrows again. The girl didn't say anything as an illusion appeared, it turned into letters which contained dazzling celestial energies. The arrows couldn't get anywhere near those strangely dazzling celestial energies. Humph. Lin Feng groaned and flapped his wings. He moved towards the girl and tried to punch her. Corrode. Lin Feng condensed black fire in his hand, however, it didn't work either. His black flames were instantly extinguished. Lin Feng released more demonic energies into his hand. His black fire became even more intense and gloomy, it seemed like nothing could stop that attack. "Break!" shouted Lin Feng furiously. He also condensed desolate qi in that hand. It was a mighty and explosive attack. The girl was surprised. She tried to counterattack, but Lin Feng didn't give her a chance. The girl looked petrified. She hadn't thought Lin Feng would be able to break through her celestial body. Even if she was injured, a cultivator of the fourth Tian Qi layer shouldn't be able to compete with her. She looked at him in a cold way, but remained fearless. "You're strong. You keep saying I kidnapped you and polluted you, let's see what you're going to do when I take off your veil," said Lin Feng. He grabbed her veil and took it off. She looked dispirited. She possessed a celestial qi. Lin Feng was surprised, that was the same qi as Meng Qing. The girl looked at Lin Feng in a cold way. Not only had he polluted and kidnapped her, but he also took off her veil. He was too close to her face. Lin Feng looked confused. He remembered Meng Qing's snowy white skin and celestial appearance. "You're not as good as her," said Lin Feng. The girl was surprised. Whom was he talking about? She saw that Lin Feng was confused, he almost looked like he was smiling. She didn't understand. "You can go," said Lin Feng indifferently releasing the girl. She didn't understand why Lin Feng was acting so strangely. "What do you mean I'm not as good as her?" asked the girl. She was about 20 years old and had already broken through to the 7th Tian Qi layer. She had almost broken through to the 8th Tian Qi layer, but Lin Feng had interrupted her. "Even though you're similar, you're not as good as her." "Before I change my mind, go," said Lin Feng. She was surprised. Similar? Similar to whom? There was only one person who looked like her. "My name is Shui Bagio, remember my name. When I recover, I'll come and kill you," said the girl putting her veil back over her face. "Shui Bagio," whispered Lin Feng. "Shui Ling Long, Shui Bagio." Lin Feng had Shui Ling Long come out and smiled. She looked at him and hugged him. "Meng Qing, there are many strong cultivators in Ba Huang province. Your mother didn't want me to take you with me, so I don't dare take you out often." "Don't be angry with me," said Lin Feng. He had to find the celestial land of alchemists and find the holy pill to help Meng Qing recover. He was worried though, there were so many strong cultivators who could harm him. Would they be able to exchange a holy pill for a high-quality holy weapon? Chapter 1105, Golden Lotus Shui Bagyo left. Her facial expression was ice-cold. Shui Bagyo has come out. I heard someone kidnapped her and injured her. I wonder what she did. Impossible. I'll kill anyone who dares harm her. Many people were talking as Shui Bagyo appeared in front of the crowd. She looked at them indifferently and said, "He's mine. Nobody can touch him." Then, she left and disappeared. They were surprised. He was hers. She wouldn't allow other men to attack him. What did that bastard do to her? Many people were furious and started moving towards the place where Lin Feng had taken her to. Lin Feng didn't realize just how many people attached importance to that girl. Shameless guy, he dared kidnap a celestial woman. Even though she won't allow us to kill him, at least we can teach him a lesson. All those people hated Lin Feng for kidnapping the girl. Dogs keep barking, said Lin Feng mockingly and indifferently. Many people wanted to prove to that girl how strong they were. Lin Feng walked forwards and ignored those people. Even though they weren't weak, most of them had broken through to the 5th Tian Qi layer. You kidnapped Shui Bagyo and think you can leave like that, you really want to die. Stay here, she didn't kill you, but at least we can cripple your cultivation. Shameless bastard. The crowd was furious. Lin Feng looked cold and detached though. He kept running through the crowd. Piss off, shouted Lin Feng furiously. His fist contained the force of the earth and sky. A cultivator of the 4th Tian Qi layer who was in Lin Feng's way was sent flying. He coughed up some blood and his face turned deathly pale. As if they hadn't seen what just happened, many people surrounded Lin Feng. 1,000 Buddha punches, shouted Lin Feng as shadow-like punches attacked every direction around him. Lin Feng didn't stop though. He continued running as sword energies moved towards him. Lin Feng released a gigantic shadow-like hand. The sword energies couldn't reach him and were destroyed. The attacker was propelled back to the ground. So many people are going insane because of Shui Bagyo, thought Lin Feng. Those people were boring to him, though. He looked at them and said coldly, I'll be merciless if someone tries to block me again. His level 7 sword intent invaded the atmosphere. The crowd looked petrified. It felt like they were being stabbed just by looking at him. Destroy him and bring his body to the celestial land of alchemists, maybe then they will be able to make a pill using his body. Right, kill him. The celestial girl was too nice, she didn't kill him, but we should. Everybody wanted to kill Lin Feng. They were furious. Celestial land of alchemists. Who was that celestial girl they were talking about? And how did they know about the celestial land of alchemists? Is Shui Bagyo from the celestial land of alchemists? Lin Feng asked one of them. Humph, you kidnapped the celestial girl of the celestial land of alchemists, we're going to kill you, replied that person, seemingly answering Lin Feng's question. Had he kidnapped the celestial girl of celestial place? Was the small world he had crossed the celestial land of alchemists he had been looking for? Lin Feng was annoyed. He had been looking for that place to find a pill for Meng Qing, maybe Shui Bagyo had that kind of pill. No wonder that place looked like a celestial and holy place, it smelt so nice because there were incredible herbs growing there. The girl could even heal herself without me noticing it. It all makes sense now, thought Lin Feng. Su Ling is here. Su Ling has broken through to the 6th Tian Qi layer and he is in love with Shui Bagyo. He will kill that guy, thought the crowd when they saw someone riding a lion with 3 heads in the air. He looked majestic and domineering. He had heard that Shui Bagyo was kidnapped so came straight away. Shui Bagyo hasn't gone back to the celestial land of alchemists, I might be able to find her still, thought Lin Feng. She hadn't left too long ago, and she was injured so she was slower. If she has the pills, maybe I can trade them for something, thought Lin Feng. He continued running away. He didn't want to be enemies with people from the celestial land of alchemists, he had to get pills from them. That guy really wants to die. The lion will eat him alive, thought the crowd. Su Ling moved towards Lin Feng and said, I'll kill you. His lion started roaring, making the sky shake. It opened its 3 mouths. Dazzling lights appeared. Lin Feng started flapping his silver wings. The lion bit one of his wings and blood appeared. Bloody animal, piss off, said Lin Feng coldly. Su Ling frowned and stood up. He threw himself at Lin Feng. I'll kill you for having kidnapped the celestial girl. Su Ling punched the air in Lin Feng's direction. Lin Feng flapped his wings and attacked his opponent's fists with his wings. His opponent didn't flinch though. Lin Feng flew towards Su Ling and raised his fist. Su Ling moved his hands back and released an aggressive chi. His fists looked like gigantic lion paws, they were even roaring like a lion. Boom boom boom. The space around them cracked. Lin Feng and Su Ling continued punching each other and the crowd could barely breathe. Lin Feng had only broken through to the 4th Tian Qi layer, but he was very strong. I don't have time to play with you, die, said Lin Feng coldly. A golden lotus appeared in Lin Feng's hand and it was dazzling. It moved towards Su Ling. At the same time, Lin Feng didn't stop and released sword energies. Snow Lotus Vitality. The crowd was stupefied. They had seen strong cultivators from the celestial land of alchemists use that attack, how could Lin Feng use it too? Had Lin Feng not kidnapped the celestial girl? Was he a member of the celestial land of alchemists too? Su Ling was stunned too and his face turned deathly pale. Stop. I'm not fighting anymore. You said you wanted to kill me though, said Lin Feng coldly. Ridiculous. His dazzling energies became even more terrifying. Su Ling was surrounded by those terrifying energies, he couldn't even move anymore. Lin Feng then released sword energies and cut Su Ling's body into 2. The crowd was astonished. How could a cultivator of the 4th Tian Qi layer kill Su Ling so easily? And how could he use attacks from the celestial land of alchemists? Chapter 1106, Fortune City. Lin Feng flapped his wings. After killing Su Ling, he flew towards the celestial land of alchemists. He hoped he could catch up with Xue Bagio. On the way, many people recognized the young man who had kidnapped Xue Bagio. News of what had just happened also spread throughout the region. Of course, Lin Feng didn't mind, he just had to find Xue Bagio. However, he didn't see her on the way. He had probably missed a great opportunity. Finally, Lin Feng arrived at the entrance of the celestial land of alchemists. He still couldn't see Xue Bagio. He only saw the 2 girls who had led the way before. They looked like they were waiting for something. When they saw Lin Feng, they said coldly, "You dared come back. Where is the girl?" "I need to talk to her," said Lin Feng. They were surprised. "You kidnapped her and now you're looking for her again? If you don't bring her back, the celestial land of alchemists will kill you," said the 2 girls staring at Lin Feng. Lin Feng frowned and asked, "You mean that she hasn't come back yet?" If Xue Bagio hadn't come back, there was still a chance, he could wait for her there. "What do you mean now? Isn't she with you?" "I let her go after leaving," replied Lin Feng looking around. He hoped she'd come back. Even more people came over after hearing that the celestial girl had been kidnapped. They also wanted to see the one who had kidnapped her. He's the one who kidnapped her and now he's waiting for her there. How audacious, he'll get himself killed. When she left, she said he was hers. She didn't let other people attack him. Even though his cultivation level isn't high, he killed Su Ling who had broken through to the 6th Tian Qi layer. He can even use spells that strong cultivators from the celestial land of alchemists use. At that moment, the door to the small world opened and someone appeared. It was an old man with an unfathomable qi. He looked at Lin Feng. "Where's Baguio?" he asked coldly. Lin Feng looked at him, he felt uncomfortable. Lin Feng had kidnapped her, they had watched and did nothing. Now he had come back and was waiting for her, something was going on. "Mister, I offended you in Baguio, you know that. After I left and went to a safe place, I let her go, now I'm waiting for her, but she hasn't come back," said Lin Feng honestly. They were all very strong, he couldn't lie at this juncture. "We checked everything, we know you arrived in her room accidentally. If you explain everything clearly, we would have forgiven you, however, you kidnapped Baguio and now she might be in danger." "She just sent a distress signal," said the old man. Lin Feng was furious. Someone had seized that opportunity to harm Baguio. Lin Feng was speechless. He had injured the girl and now what could he do? She couldn't have possibly sent a distress signal because of him. He didn't harm her, that must mean someone had attacked her. "I didn't threaten her at all," said Lin Feng without explaining more. "You can't threaten her anyways. However, you could have friends helping you." "I need to use a clairvoyant spell on you," said the old man in grey clothes. Shui Baguio had sent a distress signal. She was in danger and they believed Lin Feng was involved. A clairvoyant spell. Lin Feng couldn't agree, that way, they would see all the secrets he had. "I'm sorry mister, I cannot accept," replied Lin Feng. "You have no choice," said the old man walking towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng took out a key, it was the imperial key of the flight of stairs. He put his pure qi inside and the key started glowing. A hologram appeared. That silhouette looked calm, but when it appeared in front of those people, they were speechless. "Dear friends, I trust you have been well," said the hologram smiling. Lin Feng had a strong cultivator's hologram. He must have come from a powerful group. "Who is he?" asked the old man from the celestial land of alchemists. "I hope my fellow disciple didn't offend you. He kidnapped the celestial girl and now she's in danger. I need to use a clairvoyant spell on him. Since he's your fellow disciple, I can guarantee you I won't do anything to him if he is innocent," said the old man in a cold way yet politely. That cultivator of the fourth Tian Qi layer had a background. Even people from the celestial land of alchemists gave him face. When he heard that, the hologram smiled and shook his head. He looked at Lin Feng and said, "Lin Feng, you're so in love with that girl that you lost control, I'll have to ask for her hand for you." The crowd was stupefied. Did he want to marry the celestial girl? What? How could a cultivator of the fourth Tian Qi layer become a good match for her? Many young men looked at Lin Feng aggressively. Was he the son of an emperor? Lin Feng was dumbstruck. Mu Chen thought he was funny. He could make Mu Chen appear using the key from the flight of stairs, it was better if Mu Chen talked to those strong cultivators for him. "Brother, I let her go. I don't know what happened to Shui Baguio." "I didn't do anything," said Lin Feng. He understood what Mu Chen meant. "I know," said Mu Chen nodding. He looked at the strong cultivators and said, "I can guarantee you that he hasn't done anything. Forget about the clairvoyant spell, nobody is willing to have such a spell cast on them. I'm sure the celestial girl is safe." The strong cultivators of the celestial land of alchemists didn't reply immediately. Mu Chen was exceptional. Everybody knew him and Ho Chin Lin in the northern part of Ba Huang province. They knew they couldn't offend him. "Lin Feng, even though you didn't do anything wrong, you still played a role in her disappearance. Now you have to go help them," said Mu Chen. Lin Feng understood. Mu Chen was helping him establish good relations with the celestial land of alchemists. He was also giving him hope, Lin Feng needed those pills after all. "I understand," said Lin Feng nodding. "So what?" "You can't do anything," said a young man from the celestial land of alchemists coldly. "He is under Mu Chen's protection," thought one of the strong cultivators from the celestial land of alchemists. "We won't cast the clairvoyant spell. However, if he did something wrong, what can we do, Mu Chen? I will hand him over to you personally if he did something, said Mu Chen indifferently. He knew that he had to pay the price for offending such people. All right, I trust Emperor Shi and Emperor Yu's disciples, said the old man nodding. Tiantai could be trusted, and it seemed like Lin Feng was one of their imperial cultivation disciples. Thank you, said Mu Chen smiling politely. He looked at Lin Feng and said, I wouldn't have thought you'd go to the southern part of Ba Huang. Since you're there, you don't need to come back for that event I was talking about. Instead, you can go directly to Fortune City. Chapter 1107, Diviner, Fortune City. Lin Feng's eyes twinkled. After he became an imperial cultivation disciple, Mu Chen told them to practice cultivation hard for a while. Mu Chen had probably planned everything so that he could bring them to Fortune City. He's only broken through to the 4th Tian Qi layer, but Mu Chen wants to bring him to Fortune City. I think he's overestimating him a little, said an old man indifferently, yet mockingly. In Ba Huang province, there are many strong cultivators. Fortune City is a necessary step to becoming stronger. If cultivators are not strong enough, it doesn't matter where they go, for danger is part of a cultivator's daily life. When people choose to become cultivators, they accept the fact that they can die at any time. If you're not strong enough, people will step on your corpse, said Mu Chen calmly and smiling. People shivered when they heard him. The world of cultivation was truly cruel. In the continent of the 9 clouds, from the Qi layer to the Ling Qi layer, there was a huge step, then from the Ling Qi layer to the Xian Qi layer, there was another huge step, then from the Xian Qi layer to the Tian Qi layer, that was another gigantic step. At the Tian Qi layer, many people were not able to break through to the Zun Qi layer. Only extraordinary cultivators could become Zun cultivators. And then those who wanted to become emperors had to fight even harder. Those who were really strong had to kill many people to become emperors. In the continent of the 9 clouds, there was a sword emperor, Emperor Wu Tianjian. He used to be in Ba Huang province before becoming an emperor. He traveled the world and challenged the strongest Zun cultivators. He defeated them all, and finally, he became a real emperor. He then became very famous and everybody admired him. There was another terrifying and famous emperor in the continent of the 9 clouds, the Demon Emperor. Everybody feared him. He could kill anyone he wanted. If he attacked, he could create seas and oceans of blood. If clans, sects or any groups offended him, he could wipe them off the map in the blink of an eye. Many people were jealous of the Demon Emperor, so he had many enemies who wanted to kill him. According to the legends, he had gone through many hardships and dangers to get where he was. Lin Feng knew what Mu Chen meant. His brother was telling him that he had to become a real genius amongst geniuses, he had to surpass his enemies. That was how cultivation worked. The path of cultivation was incredibly cruel. You're right, Mu Chen. You have to kill many people to become a strong cultivator. However, there are many geniuses and incredible people in Fortune City. There will be many opportunities, but your fellow disciple has only broken through to the 4th Tian Qi layer. Even though he's strong, even though his blood strength is not bad, can he really compete with those people? Does he have secret abilities or something? Ask the old man from the celestial land of alchemists. Mu Chen had faith in Lin Feng, but they didn't know why. They didn't underestimate Lin Feng, but all the heroes of Ba Huang province would gather in Fortune City. Lin Feng wasn't strong enough. Even the celestial girl had to break through to the 8th Tian Qi layer before she'd be allowed to go to Fortune City. They didn't know what it was like to practice cultivation after becoming an emperor though. I don't know either, but what I know that his current cultivation level has nothing to do with what he will be like in the future. He has been practicing cultivation for a shorter time than many of us. In any case, when people rise, many people are surprised. Mu Chen said, smiling indifferently. Lin Feng was calmly standing next to Mu Chen. Mu Chen was defending him, but Lin Feng knew that he hadn't practiced cultivation long enough. Many young cultivators from prestigious families had practiced cultivation their entire life. Lin Feng had only started when he was about 15 years old. He still remembered when he was a cultivator of the Qi layer. He was proud of his cultivation speed, he was faster than many people. Of course, he could never say he was stronger than everyone else, the world was vast. He had broken through to the Tian Qi layer quite fast though. I hope you're right. We'll see how many of the Emperor's imperial cultivation disciples will become emperors. We now have to find the celestial girl, so we're off, said the strong cultivators from the celestial land of alchemists. The crowd sighed when they heard Mu Chen and those people talk. They were extremely strong and understood cultivation to an incredible degree. Many people only dreamt of becoming strong, but they weren't determined enough. Lin Feng, I'm sure you love cultivation and that you are determined. There are some things you can't avoid to become stronger. Do what you can without being scared, but remember that you need to survive, said Mu Chen. He had to be fearless, he had to be stoical. But Mu Chen's last sentence was a reminder that he couldn't act carelessly either. Last time I was in Fortune City, there was a diviner. He's an emperor that many people who want to become emperors talk to. For example, Ho Chin Lin. This time, I hope that the diviner will be able to tell you your future and tell you if you'll become an emperor in the future. A diviner in Fortune City. Lin Feng was surprised by these words. This time, there will be many strong cultivators from the entire province in Fortune City. You need to ready yourself. You'll meet some incredible heroes there and you will definitely fight against some of them, said Mu Chen. Lin Feng breathed in deeply. He was impatient to meet those heroes. Alright, I'm off, said Mu Chen smiling. His body turned into a beam of light as he went back into Lin Feng's key. Everybody was amazed. They wanted him to stay so they could listen to him more. Many people who didn't like Lin Feng were now fixedly staring at him. Chapter 1108, Everybody off to Fortune City. After Mu Chen disappeared, many people looked at Lin Feng in a cold way. Someone said, "You're so weak that you'll get killed in the first second you step foot in Fortune City. He dared kidnap the celestial girl. If it wasn't for the celestial land of alchemists giving Tiantai face, you'd be dead." Lin Feng turned around, he looked calm and detached as he readied himself to leave. "Wait," said someone at that moment. Lin Feng turned around and saw a young man from the celestial land of alchemists. In Fortune City, there will be many dangers. Since you want to go to Fortune City, I'll see if you have any chances of surviving there. He had broken through to the 6th Tian Qi layer, he was one of the young men who was madly in love with Xue Bagio. Lin Feng injured the woman he loved and kidnapped her, now she was in danger. Because of what Mu Chen had said, the strong cultivators of the celestial land of alchemists couldn't harm Lin Feng, but people of the same age could. If he only said that he wanted to teach Lin Feng something, Mu Chen couldn't say anything. Indeed, you should cripple his cultivation, said someone else. Bzzz. At that moment, Lin Feng threw himself at the one who had just spoken. Lin Feng stretched out his hand, as a mountain appeared and quickly grew in size. How noisy, said Lin Feng. In a flash, his mountain shot out. The young man's face turned deathly pale. Rumbling sound spread in the air as the mountain was too fast and crashed onto him. He had the feeling his bones were being crushed as he propelled away, blood splashing. His hand turned into a mountain range. How did he do that? The crowd was surprised. Lin Feng was surprisingly good at fighting. He was an imperial cultivation disciple of the first batch and Mu Chen had even protected him. Those people didn't like Lin Feng only because he had kidnapped the celestial girl. Lin Feng glanced at the crowd and said, "If you have anything to say, say it now. Don't hide behind other people, you pieces of trash." The crowd had seen it, Lin Feng could defeat people of the 5th Tian Qi layer easily. He walked back towards the young man who was madly in love with Shui Bagyo and released some sword chi. He immediately attacked him without saying anything. He's not easy to deal with. The young man looked at him coldly as petals appeared in the air. Boom, boom, the sword chi collided with the petals and metallic sound spread. Die, shouted the young man. The petals floating around looked soft and beautiful, but actually they were extremely sharp. Lin Feng opened his silver wings. Lin Feng jumped forwards as the earth and sky shook. Constriction, shouted the young man making gestures with his hands. Many petals appeared and moved towards Lin Feng. There were so many that the crowd couldn't see the sky anymore. It seemed like they were even alive. What a strange spell, thought Lin Feng. He was surprised, but he continued releasing terrifying sword energies as well as flame energies, destroying the petals one by one. However, the young man didn't give up and a pale light moved towards Lin Feng. It wasn't dazzling at all. Lin Feng frowned, wondering what it was. Vitality, shouted the young man furiously. The pale lights turned into seeds and surrounded Lin Feng. What a great spell! He will win now. As expected, the spells of the cultivators from the celestial land of alchemists are incredible. That guy had no chance, thought the crowd looking at the seed surrounding Lin Feng. You're so weak, you have nothing chance in Fortune City, said that person to Lin Feng. He raised his hands and moved towards Lin Feng, wanting to grab Lin Feng. Vitality, said Lin Feng indifferently. The other was surprised. He lowered his head and saw seeds surrounding his legs and growing. The stems started enveloped his legs. How could Lin Feng use their skills? Maybe, but you're not the one who should tell me that, said Lin Feng, releasing sword energies and black fire. He burned the stems which were surrounding his legs, raised his hands and grabbed his opponent's face. Boom boom, at the same time, his opponent broke the stems as well and moved back. Lin Feng flapped his wings and used his Xiaoyao agility technique to chase the enemy. Piss off, shouted his opponent furiously. He opened his third eye and a golden light appeared. It was a golden seed which quickly started growing and moving towards Lin Feng. Your godly awareness is so weak, said Lin Feng indifferently. Lin Feng slapped his opponent in the face and grabbed his face. At the same time, he released his gigantic godly awareness palace. His enemy's stems surrounded the palace, but Lin Feng groaned disdainfully as his palace started shining and growing even more. Soon, he broke the stems so Lin Feng's enemy recalled his godly awareness. You're humiliating yourself, said Lin Feng, slapping his enemy again. He recalled his godly awareness too, flapped his wings and streaked across the sky. His enemy pulled a long face. He had been slapped twice by a cultivator of the fourth Tian Qi layer. The crowd was dumbstruck too. The young man was a strong disciple from the celestial land of alchemists and Lin Feng had slapped him twice. Besides, his godly awareness was also stronger than the young man's godly awareness seed. He had used his full strength, but still, Lin Feng had slapped him twice. Lin Feng was moving as fast as he could. He had no way to find the pills so far. He had to find another solution. In Fortune City, maybe he would find a way there. Lin Feng arrived in a desolated place and sat down cross-legged. He took out several pure qi stones and practiced cultivation. A vortex of energy appeared around him as Lin Feng greedily swallowed the strength from those pure qi stones. A sun fire appeared and it contained a scorching hot qi. The sun was now shining off of Lin Feng's body. He looked majestic. At the same time, he looked solemn and proud. Indeed, he wanted to break through to the fifth Tian Qi layer. When he had seen the energies of the path in the small world, he had sensed that he had reached the top of the fourth Tian Qi layer. After that, he had battled a bit and now he was about to break through to the next Tian Qi layer. Mu Chen and all the disciples left too. Qiu Yuxian was there, but she was walking alone since Lin Feng hadn't come back. Xian Yuan initially wanted to ask for Yang Ziye's hand, for he had obtained the spear, but then the Yang clan and the island of the 9 dragons had fought that great war. Xian Yuan had been severely injured, so his clan told him to rest and then go to Fortune City. In Qifeng Mountain, a beautiful and alluring girl was running down the mountain. In the celestial palace of the immortals, the new disciple of the empress was wearing incredibly beautiful clothes and was going to the Fortune City as well. Amongst Buddhist cultivators, the sadhu of the celestial thunder temple took a bamboo stick and a pot, then left too. "I'm not going to that damn place anymore," said Yuan Fei holding his wooden stick. He left the place where the emperor had forced him to practice. However, a gigantic wooden stick appeared in the sky. It seemed that the emperor had heard him. At the same time, people from Ba Huang province left their small worlds with only one objective, Fortune City. You're tuning into the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.